good right now. All the dumb things I've done in my life don't seem all that bad anymore.
Classic Dell takeaway.
Classic Dell takeaway. I might be dumb, but I'm not as dumb as those people. That's the king.
I didn't go that far.
Oh, you did. You did. We heard it. We heard it in your soul. Whatever. I kind of just like. It's been a wild weekend for Tommy, but now it's time for Kingmaker. But a car didn't blow up. Yeah, fun.
It's been a wild week for Zaresh.
Everyone has had the best of times and the best of times. And the five of you, thank you for your support on Patreon as we run now the actual Kingmaker. I have to like step out of zombie mode and go into this one. Because like I open up the map and I'm like, oh, here's the encounter at the Thornford. Oh wait, yeah, my druid's being eaten by a trail gaunt. Oh, that's much different than what's supposed to happen. Anyway, I'm gonna grab that D5 for the end characters. Boom, 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 shaboom. Unless someone wants to volunteer. Y'all are usually so good at jumping on it.
I volunteer as tribute.
You volunteer as tribute. Steady it is.
She's so excited, dude.
She is. You know she's got something prepared.
Oh, good.
Oh, goody.
Let me clear my throat.
God damn it.
Yeah, she's been up all, like, she got up super early this morning, and she's been plugging away.
It's not long. Senya looked over Stagray Fort's ramparts onto the placid waters of Tuskwater Lake. In the distance, she could make out the ruins of Kindlemere Tower. She squinted her eyes to see if she could make out the will-o-wisp that surrounded it. She felt a pang of guilt for feeling fear the last time they have tried to approach it. What happened there? And what happened to Divicos? Her world seemed to have upended itself again when she found that her tribe's chief's son was still alive. She felt elated and crushed and confused and angry at the same time. Happy that she wasn't the last of her people. But why did Divicus refuse to see her? It confused her and it made her feel rejected and unworthy, and then she felt anger. Anger at herself for having fled her home without knowing whether anyone else had survived the slaughter, and anger at Divicos for deeming her unworthy of his presence. Why? It was a bitter question that was stuck in her throat, and she swallowed it like a dry lump of bread. You know the answer, child. She heard Oslog's voice in her head. You ran away, and when your tribe needed you most, and now you have a long road ahead of you to prove yourself. Go out and prove yourself. And that is that.
And that is that. Fair enough. I will say we've talked a lot this weekend about the Geminate Invoker and how much I really like that archetype and its ability to just flex into different totems for whatever it needs, And take that hero point. Anybody want to jump on the old volunteering for the next one?
Sure.
I'll go. Oh, okay. No.
Everyone is so polite.
Me or you?
I'll go, fine.
Oh, you will. The man who completely faked me out because I had no idea what a donkey rat was. A donkey rat? What?
Donkey.
Got him.
A dire rat? You mean a dire rat. But take it away, Gal.
All right, I play Kalira Ashling, and I am a barbarian half-elf, and superstitious half-elf, excuse me. And these past few days have been interesting. The plan is coming to fruition, and now that I've apparently gotten a way to get the donkey rats I require for my next stage of my plan, I have decided to dedicate myself to being a professional animal trainer by punching our horses. In doing so, I've raised our mangy couple pairs of riding horses that were formerly owned by bandits that we killed, rightfully. I've redubbed them Blood Song after the hymns of Gorum that is always so close to my heart, and Gore Stepper, because I saw him step on something and he really looked to like it, so I felt like that was a good name for him. So Blood Song and Stone Stepper and Gore Stepper, and then some witch showed up and like whisked me away. I'm very worried for myself.
Fair enough.
You're not the one that got cursed.
No, he's just the one on the other side of the planet right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Alone
yeah,
with
that's
her.
true. Yeah, that's maybe worse. I don't know what's worse.
By the way, did I see that happen? I wasn't really clear about that.
If
It happened,
anyone
like,
saw
privately.
it.
I don't think we did. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
Amalia would have been smart enough to, since she's starting to kill
Steal
off
him in
Amalia.
secret.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway, hero point goes to Cal. Cato Sicarius. It's him. Cato Sicarius. Cato Sicarius is
Cato Sic-
in character reflection.
Cato stands upon the ramparts of Fort Staggrave, overlooking the Tuskwater. He looks across at Candlemere Tower in the distance, squinting to see if he can make out the will-o-wisps.
Oh my god.
Just so all right, that's all I got. So I'm playing Cato Sicarius, swashbuckler extraordinaire, also the Rosslyn Bravo archetype, also playing a monk master of many styles archetype and a fighter weapon master archetype.
Keep going.
So my soon next level, I'll add a fourth to the list. I hope we
There
hit.
it is.
With that said, so Cato, my real reflection now. Cato is not overseeing the overlooking the ramparts. Cato is sitting within his chamber, concerned. His head still tingling from his agreement with the witch. He does not fully understand the ramifications of. He has a general idea of what it means and what it could mean to break his word, though he has no intention of doing so. The idea of being magically bound to an agreement is definitely a new and worrying experience for him. While he does not intend to ever to go back on his promise, he also doesn't know if he can truly trust the witch, and therefore has begun to question some of the members of the community who are more magically inclined about the possibilities of lifting such a curse, or providing some form of protection against the consequences should the witch be less than honest in her application of it. So that is kind of where he is left off. That's kind of what's on his most currently on his mind. However, as he is pondering this and discussing it, a flamboyant and cheerful man barges into the castle, followed by a floaty little fairy dragon with important and time-sensitive news.
And he snaps up his lute and he goes, "When a humble bard."
And so Cato's attention is quickly diverted from his current predicament into, and he addresses the returning bard and magister of the kingdom, and that's where he's picking up.
Indeedy. Alrighty, fair enough. Then we go down to the two people who the gods have decreed it was best I did not have dinner with, because it would have been too good of a time, I'm sure.
Oh, sorry. The car thing certainly didn't help.
Yeah. I will roll a d2 unless one of you wants to dive in on it.
I'll go.
And so it was.
So, disclaimer. I have had a crazy week, and I do not have anything prepared. So we're winging it. I'm playing Ionia Essel, a mostly human occultist. Almost forgot my class there for a second. Ionia is intrigued by the whole situation with the Iruxi and Senya's lost tribesmen. Pretty excited to see how that plays out. She's been racking her brain about the wisps. Still very curious about that tower, but also concerned as the wisps are, well, scary. Outside of that, she's just kind of been a little shocked at how her party has been handling some things lately. In particular, Ionia likes Jubilost, but he is making a lot of money, and she's not really sure that that's the best investment. But if that's what everyone thinks is best, I guess we'll see if he's worth it. But she's definitely having some thoughts about that, and that's all I got.
Good enough. Alrighty, Taxman.
I'm playing Artoris Vilmire. I am a what am I? I'm an Inquisitor with tactical stuff and spells, and it's great and it's awesome. Inquisitor of Abadar. That's worth noting. I'm also a human. I guess that's also-
Abadabadabadar.
Don't. And gosh, I don't know. What am I up to? I
Tax day.
suppose. I'm sorry. What?
I was saying tax day.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oppose.
I was gonna say, I suppose that was basically the highlight of last round for me. Good to see the chief again, but I'm obviously pretty happy about the tax system being set up and celebration therein. My character is having a hard time being interested in the whole Senya thing and the whole Last Survivor and this mammoth and all that. It's not really his cup of tea. So, he's, tentative, like, you know what I'm saying? He's just not feeling it. So, but it is what it is, and we'll see. But the tax stuff, that's good.
Fair enough. Alrighty, so then I guess
Strong end.
tax stuff. That's good.
It's about taxes. You'd rather just. It's like we could, help track down the last member of your tribe,
I don't know
or
what
I could just be at home, collecting.
I
tax.
just don't have a reason to care. I don't know why my character would care about this barbaric tribe and whether some dude lived or died and whether he has an arm or not. I'm just like, okay, that's nice, but
also taxes.
Can you
tell
take
me
taxes?
about civilization and building civilization. Let's talk about
Hey, we
the
found
rule of law.
If there's one thing you could be interested in, this is just an out of character aside, is that he's currently holed up in an Uruxi camp, which could potentially be
Yes, that was
conquered
interesting.
and
And the out of character and in character entirely different. I'm just strictly in character. But yes,
The
in
tax man in
character, I
character
was
cares
intrigued
not.
by the fact that there seemed to be, similar to like the soot scales, there seemed to be some pocket of
just think of all the
a
tax
society.
come out
If
of
it
there.
makes you feel any better, Senya doesn't care about taxes.
That's fair.
Just like all this mathy stuff is just way over her head.
She's like, I don't want to pay taxes. I just hunt and I think Ksenia's more on in the camp of what's her name, the witch.
Malia.
Malia is like, yeah, you go, girl, do your own thing.
Don't ever say you go, girl, again.
Yeah, I'm also
In that camp,
support. Yeah, I'm gonna put.
vote on
Earlier
that.
you had said something about feeling better about yourself because of my mistakes. So
Now-
thanks
now
for
you're-
returning that favor.
It's gone full circle.
You're welcome. See, I'm helpful.
Did Tommy leave?
No, Tommy's right
he's,
here.
he's just like,
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Oh, poop.
Oh, for
poop.
real?
Back.
No, I didn't leave. Achilles bumped something he shouldn't have. That's my.
Oh, sure.
I've been
you
sitting
know-
here laughing this whole time. Like, can they not hear me?
You know what I do to my cat when it knocks something over it's not supposed to or does something? I
What?
stick it in the toilet.
What?
No,
That's-
he's
I'm sorry, you
That's
did what?
horrible.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm lying.
I don't
Achilles.
know why.
Tara would murder me if I shoved her cat in the toilet.
Yeah, I believe it. Achilles also isn't afraid of water. Like he just kind of like hang out in it.
I'd
Anyway,
like to see you get a cat in the toilet.
When my dog
Yeah.
does something I don't like, I give him treats and tell him he's a
Yeah,
good
I
boy.
know. You're
What?
good anyway. Yeah, you're.
You know what he
He
does?
is so spoiled.
You know what he does when the cat does something he doesn't like? He hisses at.
I do because that's what Google said to do is use feline responses to feline
Well,
actions. So if the
Google
cat does
is a professional pet trainer. So.
It
I know.
is.
That's what I've. So anyway, yeah. Every time the cat does something like bad, I hiss at it. Like cats hiss at each other when they're upset or mad, and she stops
Hey, no.
or he stops. It works.
Hey, Del,
What?
give me a hiss.
Not
hear it.
not gonna happen. All right, let's just move on.
I'm gonna target Kato in combat so hard, so he has to reroll like a druid or a wizard with a cat familiar or something, so he has to roleplay. it's your animal companion's doing what you don't want them to do again. Not that
I might pick up a level 1 or something so I can get a familiar.
Oh God.
On the subject of familiars, Kalira, basically out of nowhere, it goes from day to night, and you wouldn't call it cold necessarily by Restov standards, but it's considerably... Man, you probably ought to make a perception check. There's a lot of stimuli right now. Okay.
13.
13 indeed. You guys arrive a couple seconds after Amalia says something, and the arcane powers, and a little like shiny light pops up out of her hand and starts like hovering around her head. Probably like 30 seconds after you arrive, you feel like a pinching sensation, and you look down, and a bug you've never seen has bit your arm, and the bug is super dead. The trees are different. The bird sounds are different. It is warm. It's almost humid. Amalia turns and just, well, I hope you know how to find what we're looking for.
No, I didn't. I just heard of them. I mean, I know what they look like vaguely.
Okay, and you have no idea how to track them, though?
I mean,
He's had 6
I
survivors.
thought you did. I thought you were going to bring me to them. What's the point of magic?
Oh, just feeling the waters. Of course. I can. And she's got a little like pouch at her waist, and she opens it, and there's like a bluish light coming out of it. And just, Mugaru, come on, buddy, we got it. And boop. Oh my! It's been so long since we've been to Razatlan. Why are we here again? What is going on? I am confused. We need
evil talking cats. Find us donkey rats.
Evil half-elf woman. Okay. And off goes, like, he starts like, sniffing the ground and stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't so hard.
So why exactly do you need capybaras again?
I have a plan.
And please, enlighten me. I can probably help with the plan.
I don't think so. This is something I must do.
Alright, fine. Fair enough. Let's just hope we don't get set upon by jaguars or dinosaurs or whatever else is out here.
Half of those things, I don't know what they are.
Knowledge nature checks.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are knowledge nature checks coming. I have a confusion. Oh, there they are.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely
cool.
don't.
Yeah, no idea. Not the foggiest. But you guys go wandering around, and you don't like, I won't say you get lost, but it takes a long time before anything turns up. Eventually, Mogaru does come running back, and yes, I've found the little fuzzy wuzzies. Follow me, please. And he starts like doing that slow cat saunter. And as I say this, I'm moving my hands, like, because I speak with my hands, and my cat is watching my hands, so I'm gonna just get my ass kicked, I'm sure. But leads you off into this little clearing whereupon there are, looks like a mom and a litter, basically.
Oh, how many?
Let's roll a d12. That can only end well. 1 d12 plus 2. Because I'm not gonna. A mom and her litter. How many? Rolls a 1.
1.
They're all dead. Ha ha! Roll initiative, zombies. Not bad. A full dozen.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, that is certainly a lot. Yes. I have my sack. Let's go.
Fair enough. So as this goes down, Amalia, like as you're like starting to grab him, like lure him in, she turns to you and it's just, you're not going to hurt them, right?
Of course not. Look how cute they are. She picks that one up and she nuzzles it. Puts it back in.
They are eating.
No.
And Amalia goes down to like scritch one of them too, and she starts like talking in that backwardsy whispery thing, and all the little ones start like running up to her. As she's doing this,
don't curse my donkey rats.
I'm not going to curse them. And also, what is your deal with practitioners of magic anyway?
Father, I've had a few bad experiences. Let's put it that way.
So have I, but it doesn't mean I call everyone a witch.
I don't call everyone a witch. Some of them are blood priests, and then there's blood sacrifices, and there's warlocks, right? Yeah, it's a few different types. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, it seems your terminology is a little more refined than I might have once thought. You don't honestly think the Abaddon is a blood priest, do you?
I know it to be true. I've seen him do it with my own blood.
With your own, but okay, wait, hold on. And she whispers down at a bunch of the capybara, and they kind of like sit and just wait. What did he do?
He used my blood to cast one of his spells.
But what spell though did he conjure?
No, I don't. Some like fucking spikes came out the ground. I don't know.
Spikes came. I.
Like a chain. It's a chain.
Oh, yes. Tensor's barbed chains, of course.
Of course.
That doesn't make someone a blood priest. That has a You had me thinking he was gonna start sacrificing the townsfolk. You can't say this.
I mean, slippery slope, right?
I mean, it's only inevitable that, given time and opportunity, he will eventually want to amass enough power, and he'll have to sacrifice several people, right? It's the escalation. Simple.
Okay. Why exactly do you follow these people? Because I look at you, and I hear your conversations, and I hear the sacrificing and the blood gods and all of this, and it makes me a little concerned about our future and our time together and a contract.
What with those guys?
Yes. Do they share your worldviews? Do you? Is she kind of
no, not at all. No, I was here as a job. That turned out to be a bit of a sham, and now I'm been extricated from my home and from some things that are very important to me, and I need to get back to them, and they are a way and a means to do that. It's simple. That is all.
A job and a means to an end, then. Okay,
yes.
Fair enough. Well,
glad Cal cares so much about us.
I mean, really? Are you not surprised?
Well, I always thought maybe this is a cold exterior, but deep down, he has this maternal kind of, protective.
That to a witch.
Yeah, on that note, I guess I want to grab her sheet, because if there's anything you're withholding, she might be able to sniff that out. That's fair. Thank you for reminding me that you wouldn't reveal everything to a witch.
God damn it.
Okay, so I do not have that. You shouldn't have class skills and sense motive, so you're probably fine. I know, Achilles. So she kind of just scratches her head. All right, fair enough, I suppose. And she holds out her hand, and, well, I can return you now if you'd like.
Yes, this will do nicely. I need a place to put them, and then going to need a trailer or a cart.
Oh my god.
Stage 3. Let's go.
And there's a snapping sensation, and you return to a back alley in Rooston, somewhere where nobody would think to look. And then
Did you just roll the same teleport the D100 twice?
Did I?
No.
Oh,
it was
no.
51 last time.
Was it?
No. I mean, to get there, you rolled a 51, I think, and to get.
I think it was a 50.
It might have been a 50, but it was.
That's pretty similar, though. Yeah.
In either case, Kalira and all of her new friends return with all of their hair and bones intact. Amalia steps back twice, bows, and teleports away herself. Suppose I had to roll for it one more time, because she could just have... Okay, she did not yeet herself into a building.
Damn.
That was strange.
That would have solved my problem.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bows, and then there's kind of like a popping sensation, and she explodes from within.
What would happen to my curse if she were to spontaneously combust?
I don't know. I have no idea. When you start talking to, I presume, Bakken about the ramifications of what you have done, we will figure that out then. But I want to say it would go away.
So
all we have to do is murder her, and then we can renege on the. No, I'm just kidding. I have no intention. I'm just messing around.
So Clear will just she'll take the donkey rats to Dak's house.
Okay. And so you do. He is presently not. Well, no, that's boring. I'm gonna roll D100.
Do any of us see this happening?
Sure. Everyone sees. Everyone who would reasonably be in Rooston during this time would see Kalira.
And she just has what, like a Santa sack full of moving
a giant squirming sack.
Hey Cal.
What?
What you got there?
None of your business.
Is it children?
What? No. What is wrong with you?
Just making sure. Can never be too sure. What is it?
It's something I'm working on, okay? It's got nothing to do with you. Don't worry. I'm not doing anything. It's going to mess up your taxes or your coin.
I'm gonna poke the sack. Is something alive in there?
There's many things that are alive in there.
That's probably a squealing sound in response to the poke.
You know this is unusual, right?
What's usual around here? Like 2 months ago, there was dead things coming out of the ground, like right over there where that guy's standing.
What?
Never mind, they're dead now. It's fine.
Oh, of course, Billy.
Well, dead again, I guess.
Okay. Just, be kind. Whatever you're doing.
Oh, I'm always very kind, darling. Don't worry.
I've seen you punching horses, Cal.
Yes, and they're much stronger for it.
Kato walks by as you guys are having this discussion, looks at the squirming bag, shakes his head, and says, "I don't even care," and walks on.
That was the appropriate response to what you see here.
Just know that I'm curious about this, and when I'm curious, I get answers.
That's almost.
And I'm gonna do like the like point at my eyes, point at Cal's eyes thing, and then I'm gonna walk away.
She points at her eyes. She points at Cal's eyes. She points at the arcane eye that's been floating over her head this whole time.
I don't point at the arcane eye, but I do go cast the arcane eye and spy on Cal.
Oh, good.
She is gonna take your eyes and use them for
blood magic. Okay.
I might just
proceed, Cal.
All right.
Dak's not home right now.
Dak's not home.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I presume that your position in the court means you probably have like a master key or some kind of something.
I was just gonna kick the door open, so that's good.
You're the ward. Wait, is it warden or?
Yeah, Kalira is essentially the chief of police.
Right, but is it warden or marshal?
It's warden. Marshal is the one. You say marshal, and I think like Texas marshals, and like riding out in the middle of nowhere and enforcing the law out there.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the warden is like the police, the prison warden. All right, cool. Because we're basically a prison. Yeah, you would have like a key that you could use on
so
business.
That seems reasonable.
I'm gonna open the door and going to find something to write on.
Okay.
I'm going to leave a note for Dak. It's going to read, "Hello, Doc. Congratulations. You've been promoted. You're now in charge of my new division. It is your task, while I am not in town, to take care of these new attack donkey rats. I will train them at a later time. Do not tell anyone about this. This is a secret mission. If I hear anyone talking about all the donkey rats in your house, I will come back and I will break 3 of your fingers." With all the love, Kalira Ashling.
And the arcane eye is privy to this. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
leave.
Does anyone else have anything else they want to do before we...
What the hell are you up to?
Seems amazing. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Battle Cappies!
Yeah, I'm just gonna be arcane eyeing, see what's going on in Dax's house. So when that
What a snoop.
I really am.
Someone needs to teach her the value of privacy and the fact that we don't.
You don't know that I'm doing this.
Are we right? But like,
there's a dozen.
Just,
are we a police
like
state
chewing
now?
on his furniture.
just don't let Kalira get wind of the fact that you're snooping, because she might break Dax's finger.
With that,
I can't wait for the strange rumors of inhuman noises that are coming from Dax's house in the coming months.
I'm just picturing like in the the distant future, we're battling like the Tiger Lords, and things are like touch and go, and then out of nowhere, an army of donkey rats comes over the crest of a hill and descends upon them
with the rising sun,
and then just gets one cleave, just kills them all. And he's like, "Well, fuck, that didn't work." Oh, sorry.
Battle Cappies!
And then gone.
And
Kato
Sound of
is
1,000 squeaks.
would Kato be talking to? God, I forget everyone's name. It's been so long since.
Jubilast.
Who's Jubilast?
The
He's a
one
humble
in your
bard.
reflection that you made a big deal about.
Oh no! I don't care about him.
Wow.
No, would he be talking to the priest or the? Oh my God, what's the goblin's name?
Bakken?
Bakken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
It has only been 2 weeks, right?
And Jared?
It's been the same amount of
Jod?
time.
Jod.
Jared.
Right? Jod.
He went to Jared. Yeah, Bakken and Jod. Either would be able to give you information.
I'm gonna talk to Jod because Jod seems to be not really getting a whole lot of screen time these days.
That's fair.
And I talk to Bakken all the time.
It's a great in-character reason to be talking to.
Let's flesh out the screen time a bit. So I'm gonna go to Jod's little portable shrine area. I assume to see if he's there.
Yeah, he's definitely there. He doesn't really have a portable shrine so much as he has quarters, and he has carved the bow and arrow of Erastil at the end of the wall.
Right. Gotcha.
Yes, my lord.
Hello, Jod. Good to see you. It's been several sessions.
He nods.
I was hoping that I could get your counsel on something that I feel completely out of my depth regarding.
Of course. And he kind of his eyes light up a little bit.
Kato takes a step in, and is there anywhere to sit? Is there seating?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll take a seat across from Jod. What can you tell me about witches' curses?
What have you done? He puts his thumb and his first finger to the bridge of his nose for a second.
Hopefully nothing too bad, but while we were out on our exploration, we came across I must say a dashing witch, but a witch nonetheless, and we came to a negotiation, I guess you could say, regarding land and citizenship and blah blah, lots of stuff. However, as part of the agreement, she demanded that this promise be upheld by some sort of spell, a curse, you might say, that was placed upon me to keep said promise.
I see. And you haven't felt weak. You don't turn into a small animal when the moon is out. Nothing like this of this nature. Yes.
As of now, I feel nothing except a slight sensation upon this when the spell was being cast. But beyond that, I feel right as rain, normal as always.
I see. And please, if you could describe to me exactly how the spell was cast. Did she incant something and then touch your forehead? Did she, perhaps, was there a sacrifice involved?
No sacrifice. It was written upon parchment, which then I agreed upon reading it, and then she incanted some words, spoke the promise that was written upon the parchment, and I think that's all I recall happening.
Oh, my lord, It sounds like she cast Geese on you. In which case, that spell has long expired. I hate to say it, but I believe you may have been had.
I beg your pardon?
The spell cast lasts only a few days at most. Even the most powerful of... Then he, taps Erastel's bow and arrow hanging on his neck. Of my order, could only make it happen for perhaps a couple of weeks, maybe a little more. I believe what she did was, how do the children say it? Fake you out. Certainly the spell would have bound you for a little while, but, may I, and he holds out his hand. If it's still present, I would be able to detect it.
Absolutely.
And he, boom, and your sword is magic, plume of panache, I think, and some other things probably. No?
That's all I've got, just those two magic.
There are no enchantments upon you.
Well. That is good to know. Though I am a man of honor and a man of my word, so I fully intend to upkeep my agreement, but it is interesting that she would lie about the nature of this spell.
Well, if you were asking me, as he rolls a sense motive real quick, I think what probably happened was she felt backed into a corner and she assumed you and your retinue would not ask too deep of questions into the nature of the arcane. Did she lie? Yes. However, it seems more of a lie to protect herself than to deceive you.
Kato nods.
Death penalty it is, then.
Hang from the neck until she's dead. No. Well, thank you, Judd.
Of course. Actually, while I have you, there was something I was meaning to discuss.
Of course.
Your people, and he kind of stares off the other way a little bit as he gets to this part. While Abadar is useful and Abadar has his place, you must understand that your people and I myself, we are simple folk. We take care of our loved ones, we hunt, we farm. Erastil has been a part of my life for almost my entire life, and for the lives of most of the people who live here in Rooston. I can appreciate the collecting of taxes, and a holiday to do so seems not the worst. But I was hoping we could also add one of Erastil's holy days to the official calendar. I think it will go a long way for the people.
Kato brings his hand up to his chin, scratching at his beard. Well, his stubble, because he is very well shaved, and asks, "Which holiday would that be?"
Oh, I was thinking.
I'm not familiar with Erastil customs or.
Of course, you wouldn't be. It's Archer's Day is normally only venerated by the common folk. It's held usually on the 4th of Erastus. I know the SRD says the 3rd of Erastus, but this is basically the 4th of July, so we're putting it on the 4th, damn it. This originated in the worship of Erastil, but over the years it's come to be a celebration of the height of summer, a day set aside for the establishing of new friendships, enjoying current ones, celebrating the gifts Erastil has given us, lots of wine, women, food, archery competitions. You understand, yes? It's a commoner's dream.
Hmm.
Think of Senya.
Sounds like a question for your high priest.
It
That
was
is
until
what
he-
he does.
If I'm honest
was
with you, I
until-
was planning
and-
on having this
It was
conversation
until
with
he.
everyone at court, but
I was
you're
about
here
to say
now.
that's a question for the. I was about to say that's a question for the high priest until he mentioned the wine and the women. Then it
Slowly,
became.
man.
Then it became What is it? One of those, ask for forgiveness instead of permission type deals now?
No. It's more.
Out of character.
Oh, fair enough.
Sorry. This is out of character. Thinking about so really, I should ask Arcturus for permission. But after hearing about how amazing this will be, maybe I should just switch from an asking for permission to asking for forgiveness for not consulting him. No, back in character. I personally think it's a great idea. However, as you can understand, protocol. We'll have to run this by our high priest, though. Abadar and Erastilar have always been, from my understanding, in agreement and civil to each other. I don't foresee there being an issue, but like I said, I will bring the idea forward and carry with it my my endorsement.
Very good, my lord. It's all we can ask. May Erastil bless you and keep you.
Thank you, my lord. I will let you know as soon as I have an answer for you.
He nods.
And Cato departs.
And Cato departs. Does anyone else have anyone they want to talk to, spy on, or checks in general they would like to make? Or do we jump to this whole part has been very timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
All right, guys, it's time to go conquer. It's time to go conquer a witch's.
What about you've completely forgotten about these trolls, and I don't know why.
Oh shit! Yeah. What about? Well, I think this is stuff happening before the return of Jaskier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jaskier.
He's a humble bard. Graced to write a song.
All right.
With Cato of Restov.
I guess I should talk to Arcturus.
Oh, I think so, my friend. Are you coming to see me?
I'm gonna swing by the our newly built shrine. I think we built it last session, didn't we?
I believe so.
2 sessions ago. It's up at least, I imagine, by this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take him to church.
Swing by the church to see if Arcturus is home.
I am home.
Wow, how convenient.
How convenient that you're here. I was hoping you wouldn't be. Shouldn't you be off, I don't know, harassing people for tax money? I jest.
It's an awesome start.
How's it going, old friend? Okay, not the.
Yeah, and from behind the mask, he growls
Okay,
at you.
so no. I was deep in prayer. Sorry about that.
Oh.
What can I do for you today, Cato?
Yes, I just came from a very enlightening chat with our friend Jod. Could you imagine? We've been duped. He just informed me that the witch's curse that she put upon me was little more than a charlatan trick. Sure, it is real, but it is real for only a few days, and then poof, gone, no longer active. I am a free man, free to keep my word, but by my choice, and not beholden to some magical spell. Can you believe that?
Well, I'd like to say no, but at the same time, I guess I shouldn't be lying past her. She seems the sort.
Yeah. Jod seems to think it was just to protect herself, to give the illusion that now we've been bound to a promise, and so we'd be more likely to keep it, probably. But not that I'm saying we should march down there tomorrow and and make an example, but it is just interesting. It is a weight off my shoulders, and a weight off everyone here, I imagine, is now you don't have to worry about your king's head spontaneously combusting in front of everyone. Should we somehow, do something wrong? Anyway,
Still, it is concerning that she would lie about such a thing.
Yes, well, I think that I'm more relieved than concerned at this moment. So maybe once that feeling leaves, then we may have to have a stern word with her. But with that being said, oh yes, and there was one other very small matter about adding a holiday to the calendar. If you think that would be okay.
What holiday are we talking about?
Archer's Day. It's a grand ceremony to celebrate with people. Drinking wine, sport. The commoners love it. It's very popular in this area. I thought it was a great idea.
Come from Jod. That's right.
Yes, Jod.
Tell me, what do you know of Erastil?
Only what I've heard from Senya, really, and the few mutterings that Jod and the shrines that we have stumbled across out in the wilderness. Very little.
Well, Erastil is certainly, and his followers tend to be very good people. I am concerned that embracing Erastil openly would send the wrong message. Because the Abadar and what we're trying to do here, we're trying to build something grand civilization. I think we are in agreement on that.
We are.
Erastil sort of stands for the old ways of just this modest living, farms, tiny community. I think we're envisioning grand cities and wondrous displays of what civilization can accomplish.
I hope so. I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Excellent. So I definitely respect Jod. I like him as an individual, but do have some concerns about tying us to that sort of humble side of mankind's existence when we're really trying to elevate ourselves beyond it.
That makes sense. If I may provide a counterpoint, although I agree with all of your views here, I agree. I feel like there's we don't want to openly. How do I put this? I think it's more along the lines of a lot of the people in this area, a lot of the citizens we hope to attract, to move, and to build up our populace in order to achieve these grand goals, generally come with the majority of them seem to already have some sort of attachment to Erastil. And I think as this is a holiday of the people, generally only celebrated, as Jod had mentioned, only celebrated by the common folk, it would be a great way to encourage those in the surrounding areas to look at our little settlement here with more favorably, perhaps. If I'm not saying it should be a means to an end per se. However, I don't see it needing to be necessarily a permanent holiday come the day where we can comfortably call ourselves a grand civilization. Right now we are, despite what we wish to be, we are small. We are humble. We are farms and huts and small houses and a very modest people. And I think in order to grow into something greater, we're going to need to attract more people. And I think this holiday, just one day out of the year, could probably do a lot of good in achieving that. We are kind of farmers. Yeah, dun dun dun. We're a farming village right now.
I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and perhaps in the particular case of Archer's Day, I can make an exception, as it is itself somewhat, I don't know, unusual in my views for an erratic occasion, as it does involve coming together and celebrating together and not, I don't know, some small, instead of whatever it is they typically do, form small hunting bands and go off alone and live in the woods. Since this does have an element of civilized behavior to it, I'm not entirely opposed to the idea, but I am somewhat cautious. But if you believe it is a good idea, I'm not so opposed to it that I will say no.
Okay. I think... Also, I feel like once we are a grand civilization, I know, thinking far ahead in the future here, it's always good to look back at your roots as well. And I think Archer's Day, come the future, where we, no longer need to celebrate being a small community, could act as a day of remembering, where we started, just to view it in contrast to where we've gone. I feel like there's always value in, celebrating your roots, as it really shows the growth from where you started and where you ended. I think we can make this. I think we can make this work in a way that will satisfy both the Erastil followers as well as those of Abadar.
Well, I have no doubt that when the humble followers of Erastil are presented with what Abadar can provide, they'll convert very freely. But until that time, I suppose we can humor some of their more quaint traditions. Within reason.
Within reason, of course. All right, I will... we will make it an edict at our next build session.
Is that,
For the next build
RP terms?
Yeah.
Of course.
At our next Grand Council meeting, we will put it to vote, but I don't foresee there being any opposition. All right.
Isn't this just something that I would decide?
This is kind of something you would decide, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll make an announcement at the next Grand Council meeting.
Out of character, I'd like to be president at the next Grand Council meeting.
I mean, you would be. You're on the Grand Council.
Of course.
I mean, unless you chose not to. It's kind of assumed you're there unless you specifically... I mean,
Okay.
I know you've kind of checked out for the last two, so...
Well, kingdom building's not my thing.
She's a wildling. It's like, I'm just going to go hunt while you guys worry about, building tanneries and shit.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, thank you. I almost called you Abadar there for a minute. Thank you, Arcturus. And Kato. Yeah, always a pleasure. And he marches back to the courtyard to find some peace and quiet to do some drills, some combat drills, as he's been doing a lot of talking lately and wants to shut up now.
Fair enough. Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to do before we fast forward to Jubilost's report?
Hey,
Not to press the issue, but what did I see in Dak's house?
Yeah, that's fair. What do you see in Dax? Dak comes home. You see the eye hovers. Eventually, you see a knowledge nature check appear out of the bag. 12 of them, you might think, but don't roll it 12 times. They begin scurrying around the house, chewing on things they probably shouldn't be chewing on. And in fact, now she's got to do it 12 times.
I'm just kidding.
I gotta go to Wikipedia real quick. I know what a capybara is, but I I can tell you what a dragon does much better than I can tell you what a capybara does.
Capybaras are marsupials. And that's about the extent of my knowledge about them.
They're basically giant guinea pigs, man.
Yeah, that's the picture I'm seeing here. The capybara is a mammal native to South America. It is the largest. They're enormous rats. But they're. I won't put words in Ionia's mouth and be like they're adorable, but I'm looking at this picture and I don't know who couldn't think that was adorable. As they basically just go running around Dak's house, chewing on things. Relieving themselves, squealing happily. Many of them are very, very small and don't seem to understand how the world works. Some of them are still like puppies, running around in their environment, and they don't know that they can't quite make that jump yet, but they try to make that jump. You know what I'm talking about? And they either over or under and just whoop, can't quite make it. Dak makes his way home. Dak sees this. Dak opens the door, and he kind of just stops as all 12 of them rush him, sniffing and like pawing up at him and stuff, and he locks up in terror. It's by virtue of the fact that he's more interesting than any of the smells behind him alone is the only reason that the capybaras at this point don't escape into like roosting at large.
Donkey rats.
God.
Just wanted on the record that I know about the donkey rats.
Donkey rats now. It's fine though. We've been hearing Cato ask for donkey rats for a while, or not Cato, Cal.
We're all Cato now.
Everyone is Cato.
Except you're Abadar.
There's an image of these guys swimming on the Wikipedia, and it's the most adorable goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. These little bastards. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna give you the wiki entry because they're all just really good. Ionia, as you're looking over the donkey rats, it dawns on you that they're like the fur looks like it could like push water past it pretty easily. So it looks like these guys might have evolved to like maybe not be amphibious, but at least aquatic. Oh yeah, there they are. Oh my god.
That's so ugly.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at him. You just want to give him.
Dell, you're a fucking monster.
Heckin' Scritch, you are dethroned. Cal is the king now because Cal understands adorableness.
If it was a beaver, he'd be all about it, though. That's the weird thing. Canadians.
I don't like beavers either. But no, I don't like rodents of any kind. I don't care how cute for a rodent they are. They're still
You're not going to be welcome back in your homeland if this gets out.
Eventually, I guess I'll also say eventually, Ionia sees Dak find the note and he reads it and he kind of just drops it. Then the note is eaten by a couple of the babies. Dak is smart enough to have shut the door and they kind of just swarm him. Oh, there's a picture of him with babies. Okay, I gotta close this. I'm gonna just be here for 6 hours like adorable animal. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I blame Tibor. Anyway, fasty forward to Jubilost's event. I assume everyone wants to be present for this.
So where does he come like barging through the door like I have news? What's going on?
Probably like
I was like Jubilost.
Jubilost and Pearl of Ash return to roost in, and then would like probably the first place they go to look is like the Boar's Head to just like find all of you and just I have news. I'd like to tell all of you all at once, if possible, lest I repeat myself so many times. Is there some kind of war room, some kind of sidebarrery?
So I think you would have ran into Cato first in the courtyard,
Sure.
unless anyone else is. Maybe Cal in the village, if he's out patrolling.
Anybody
But-
want to grab it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Sure.
enough. Okay, so he shows up and yes, my big tormentor. I have news. Where is everyone? Please, do we have a war room? Do we perhaps have a... Why do you smell like donkey rat?
Why do you know what the donkey rat smells
I am a
like?
worldly man. Don't make me make the knowledge checks. I would know them.
I mean, that's
But you know them by smell. That's quite the skill.
very impressive talent to have there.
They have a very
but,
unique scent.
Look, never mind that. Yeah, just come on, Claptrap. Let's gather everyone.
Ah, yes, it is I, the mighty Claptrap. And off he goes. Him and Perlavash kind of just like flying along, and he hears Donkey Rat, and Perlavash doesn't know what this means, but Perlavash just like conjures up an illusion of like a donkey with a rat tail and like a big old rat snoot, and it follows you around for a little while, and then Perlavash laughs his little dragon ass off and then does it again, this time with just like, it is a rat with the like almost like a giraffe neck and then donkey head following you around. Just, we're a weird adventure.
Can we kill this thing?
Donkey rats? I mean, that one was probably a pretty big abomination. Anyway, the rest of you are hunted down. If anyone wants to say or do anything with Jubilost like solo before the meeting happens, it's certainly a thing that could happen. But if not,
No, let's. All right, so we all convene.
I have much to report. Yes, indeed. So,
Good. I'm glad you're making good to your grand claims of your abilities.
of course. I would never lie to you. And he kind of like gets like this big old smile on his face and lets that hang for a second. But I went out on the expedition looking for trolls. There were a couple places in which I thought maybe perhaps a troll lived here. I did eventually track them down, but I did also find a second abandoned keep. If I could direct your attention to the map, over here, where I've written abandoned keep on this map, I thought this would be... I thought this would originally be the lair of the trolls. However, when I got within about, 200 yards or so and realized I could not smell troll offal, I realized this must not be their home. However, there is in fact an abandoned keep there should you wish to peruse, explore, or otherwise investigate it. But a little farther south, I did indeed find an old dwarven ruin, and I smelled that ruin before I found it. Implying, yes, indeed, this is where the trolls are living. They seem to have a regular guard posted. Not much of one, you understand. The trolls, between them, their brains might be about as big as me, but that doesn't mean they have the ability to use them. You could probably, reasonably, maybe, get the drop on them.
How many in number? Did you get an idea?
I'm unsure. Most of the trolls I encountered in the wild. They seem to be patrolling, they seem to be amassing, possibly even organizing an attack of some form, I would assume over here.
Oh.
Within the lair itself, probably not so many.
Wait, amassing, as in... So you think they would be Can they organize in such a way?
Yes, of course they
They have a
can.
king.
Can
Of
they
course
organize
can.
in such a way? They have a very unique society. When you... He just kind of like thumb to bridge of nose again. Yes, they understand how the basic social structures, as most animals do even. They seem to be united under some... Usually, the clans will only come together when they need to protect themselves from an outside threat, or when a particularly large troll gets it into his head that he has the right to rule them all, kills and eats several of the other chieftains, and then on they go into one massive tribe. This seems to be a little more of the former. A little more of something has appeared in these lands to which they are afraid. And so they have gathered up en masse. Sometimes I see, perhaps a half dozen at most trolls coming in the direction of the keep. Several are still wandering the lands. Unfortunately, I did come upon... I didn't recognize the poor man. This is mostly because there was not enough left of him to recognize. You understand?
Indeed. If they are gathering and planning to move out to eradicate what they see as threats, I'm concerned that as the Aruxi village sort of stands between where you've marked Troll Lair and where we are currently set up. They could be in the direct line of fire should the trolls decide to head in this direction.
Indeed.
In force.
Unfortunately... Oh, on that note, I have some more things to say about them as well. I did stop there for a night. I also... Yes, Achilles. Perlavash turns into a cat. Once again. It's something we can't escape. You didn't tell me... You told him about the witch, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I was unaware you had friends in the Chelish royalty. Why did you not tell me this?
We have what now?
I see you have never heard of the Derolven family. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes, the trolls seem to be amassing for some kind of attack. Yes, the Iruxi and her seem to be in the path. Certainly the Iruxi. No, the Iruxi.
No, I've not heard of that name.
Would you like the long version or the short version?
You know me, I always like the long version.
Oh, good. I was hoping you would say that. Now, are you familiar with the colony of Anchor's End?
Can't say I am.
You are not. It is any of you. You, my dear, looking at Ionia. You're a wise and learned person.
What would this be? Local history?
Local's probably fine. You got
+2 if it involves humans, half-orcs, or orcs.
It does involve humans. Between Cato and Ionia, you can kind of reason. You don't know where, you don't know who, probably Chelish based on what Jubilost is saying. It's not uncommon for the Chelish to have set up colonies places, especially years and years and years and years ago when Eridan was a thing.
Who's Eridan?
Oh, who's Eridan? Everyone turns to look at Arturus.
Wow.
He's got this one.
I see some of you look confused. Anyway, Anchor's End is a colony on the continent of Arcadia. Only 3 of them in existence, The locals, when they realized the Avastani had found them, they got a little territorial, and probably for good reason. There's one Ulfin colony, one Chelish colony, one Andoran colony. Anchor's End is the Chelish one. And the Derolven family, they went there to start a sort of business venture, the trading of furs and rare spices and magical ingredients and things. I don't know the full story. What can I say? I keep my ear to the ground, and I love a good tale, but word from the other side of the world does not always travel back to me. But the rumor had it that their daughter, one Amalia Derolven, was to be burned at the stake in this colony for, of all things, Gosra worship. He kind of cracks a smile at this. Those damn Chelish, you understand. If you're not worshipping the Prince of Darkness himself, you must be a witch.
Amalia is nobility?
If her last name truly is Derolven, yes, indeed. The Derolven family does not have any claims to the throne, so much to say, but, I mean, they had an estate, they had wealth. Certainly when you sit in one of the richest parts of the world, you're going to be able to amass more of it.
Sure.
I don't know anything else from there. There was some rumors about how their trading post was burned to the ground, something about how her parents were killed. I don't know, but what I do know is she's the most charming woman I've ever met, and she's currently working on some stuff for me. Her family I can
second that statement.
Jubilost kind of just one of his eyebrows goes up real high.
And she's nobility.
Now, she doesn't want the nobility, I should say. I would think when the nation to which she was considered noble tried to burn her at the stake, perhaps maybe this is something we don't talk about in polite company, but she is a wonderful artificer, and her family had no small talent of that as well. Certainly, if you have the means, getting her to produce enchanted items for you would be much cheaper than giving them to old Oleg and hoping that they have it in Restov, albeit time-consuming.
Very good.
As far as your Aruxi friends go, they did allow me, after some words within their walls, and I will tell you that they are most likely not moving from their spot. It is complicated to the why. If I tell you something, it stays in this room, yes?
You are part of this room now, lest you forget.
But nevertheless, it is personal. He kind of just looks up.
What do you know?
To call their village a village is not necessarily correct. Most of the Uruxi tribes in the region are nomadic. So far as they are concerned, everything under the stars is not necessarily their land, but land they can use in the same way the rest of us can. But the village is where they have gone for generations. They believe their ancestors protect it when it is time for the eggs to hatch. And after the events with the Tiger Lords, they've had a long winter, shall we say. I don't think they will be leaving there until their young are all fully hatched and able to take care of themselves. And then they will come back again when it is time for the next round of eggs to hatch, so on and so forth.
It is a spawning ground.
Yes, sacred. They believe the ancestors watch over it.
Which makes it even more dangerous for them if the trolls were to happen across it.
I would say more dangerous for the trolls. However, having seen the condition of many of those Uruxi when we visited, I don't know if they would be able to put up too much of a resistance at this stage. Jubilos nods thoughtfully.
Perhaps this provides us with an opportunity to maybe put them in our debt, so to speak.
Jubilos just kind of raises an eyebrow and looks at everybody else.
Yes, I like that. Make them indebted to us, and then we can use them as we like. Well said.
Well, the world runs on favors and debts, you know.
Oh, I know.
It's not exploitation so much as it is the currency of nations and.
Oh no, it's definitely exploitative, and I love it.
That definitely sounds like exploitation, yes.
Yes.
You're a worldly man. You know how nations work.
I do.
How fealties are struck and how agreements are bargained.
And ultimately, as long as the coin is flowing, I'm not going to ask that many questions so long as you don't go, like, burning churches and killing children.
We're not the Tiger Lords.
That's fair. Frankly, I would not work for them. I don't think I would survive.
With that said, do you see, based on where the trolls were amassing, do you see the Uruxi camp being in danger?
It's entirely possible, yes. It would depend on why the trolls are amassing and whether or not they think they could just bowl the camp over. If they think you're the threat, then they may just go around. If they think, oh, I've heard rumors of something about a boggard village somewhere around Lake Cooktongue, perhaps it's that, perhaps it's even the Tiger Lords. But if you ask me, it would seem that most of the organized civilizations in this part of the world are presently amassing all of their pieces, shall we say.
Yes, we've made quite the stir when we put down the Stag Lord, didn't we?
You did.
And now, as I mentioned many months ago, every animal lord, every, bandit chief or uncivilized barbarian warlord is likely threatened and preparing themselves for the inevitability of our arrival, which was to be expected. So we cannot dawdle. We must strike. We must strike fast. We want to have the upper hand. We do not want to be beset upon by an army of trolls, to have our people in danger.
Indeed.
Where they're amassing, like, outside their lair?
Jubilos nods.
And you think we would have a greater advantage fighting them at their lair than having them?
I say we fight them at the Uruxi camp. We travel to the Uruxi. We let them know.
But what if they're not even going that way?
Is that
what if they're amassing to go attack
we will
the Tiger Lords?
Well, we'll need that would be great. We'll need to send we'll probably need to send someone to scout their movements to see where they are headed.
Wonder who that might be.
That's a pretty unlikely. After all, I mean, their movements so far have been around the forest just to the west of us. I'd imagine that they would continue in that.
Yeah, we ran into one at Amelia's. We ran into one at Amelia's hut, which is not too far from our location.
A little too close for comfort.
Yeah, I don't think they're heading further west. It looks like they're scouting eastward, north.
We could wait and see. I don't know. I mean, is it possible for us to wait to see until they move and maybe strike their lair directly while they're away, or come up on their flank?
While they're away, they may come here while we don't want to trade as they say in RTS games, trade bases, right?
I also yes, as they say in RTS games, Kato. Yeah. No, but what? And again, maybe I missed it, but what is the incentive the Uruxi have to help us?
Well, no. We'll help protect their spawning fort from.
That's the assumption is that if they attack the Uruxi village now, they would be in trouble.
That's where all their.
So our theory behind the trolls movement is that they're gathering a group to come wipe us out, but then on the way they're just going to be like, might as well wipe the Uruxi out too and attack.
Well, they might see them as food. They need, they eat people and lizard people.
Well,
it's literally a spawning pool there.
Right.
Here's my question: is we have killed one troll.
This is also.
What could we possibly have done to warrant them building an entire army to come take us out?
We'd be prepared this time.
They likely don't even know of our existence. Are trolls smart? That's probably something I would know. What kind of?
No, they are.
Yeah, they're smart. Yes.
Knowledge nature. Yeah, they are. They're maybe not like the most learned creatures in the land, but they are intelligent.
So, I guess it's possible that they've heard tale of our travels and exploits and seek to, prevent us from expanding further. But it seems more likely to me that they'd be going after the Uruxi, who have been here far longer than we have.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure only the fob thinks that because he is who he is. But yes,
what is that supposed to mean?
Just the entire stolen lands isn't out for you because you killed one stag lord. Okay, I mean I get this impressive, but don't. I thought we discussed that this was just more of an act, but I think you've taken it a bit too seriously. But that's fine. These trolls, if they have a king, he's going to want to expand his land. He's going to expand on lands that are nearest him. So he's obviously going to go after the powers closest to him, which would be the Uruxi.
Even if we look at it from a more animalistic, even if we look at it from a more primitive perspective, if he is accumulating tribes, that means more mouths to feed. That means they're going to need to open up just to feed and survive as a much larger tribe. It's a massive threat that and the Uruxi are, I believe, I'm of the firm belief that are in immediate danger.
So I think we're all in agreement then, right? That we go to the Uruxi, warn them of the trolls, offer our assistance, gain an ally along the way.
Yes.
I think so.
And I say we want to black stag guy to be eaten while he's so sad.
Yeah, what is your thoughts on this, Senya? These are, your tribesman is currently resting at that camp.
My thoughts on that. I am inclined to help. And from a tactical standpoint, the Uruxi are the closest to the trolls. And the easiest pickings for them.
So I say we go, but we go in force. Not just the four of us, or how many of us are there? 5? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the 5 of us may have had difficulties with a troll, but we have a militia now. We have our mercenaries. We have our friend here, who is clearly You know,
Yeah, fire arrows.
we now have fire arrows. We have
The Malia may help us if she knows that the trolls are forming into a bigger unit. In a way, it threatens her as well.
it is a possibility. We have more resources than we had previously when we came across the single troll. And if the Uruxi are willing to fight with us, well, that might just tip
Not
the
to
scales.
mention the kobolds have their stone golems. They may use to aid us.
That I'm not. As far as we know, they can't get them out of their cave.
They can't get them out of the ground.
We saw one standing.
We saw one.
Yeah, they have one.
Yeah, they have one that we could, but they're too far. I don't want to venture out. That I think we're fine. Calling in the help of the kobolds, I don't think is necessary at this point. I don't want to.
Just presenting all of our options.
Yeah.
Lord.
Appreciate it. No, sorry, I did not mean to sound so dismissive. It's good. It's good to explore all options.
So this is when we act. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so Rogue Squadron. Where are they currently? Not Senya. Wow, Kalira. What are the current assignments for the mercenaries?
Dan, you know, patrols and stuff, something like that.
Anything critical that they can pull away from?
Yeah. Not for a day or two. Probably not.
Even one in particular?
What do you mean? What in particular?
Nothing. I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Because I don't know about your scheme. Okay, cool. So that's the three of them. There's us. We can stop by Amalia's hut, because she's not here, is she? She's still at her hut, as far as I'm concerned. Unless someone knows otherwise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the witch knows.
No, I mean about her location. She'd still be in the cast. Would she still be here in Rooston after your little trip across the globe?
No, she got clear back, stepped back, bowed, teleported out.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so we can swing by Amalia's hut along the way. Have some words with her. I have some words to have with her anyway. And then we'll make our way to the Uruxi village. See if we can muster their support. Send scouts ahead to where the trolls are. See if we can ascertain their movement. I like this. I think this is a good plan.
Okay.
And then if we can potentially get the drop on them, it would be beneficial. We might even if we don't fight at the Uruxi village, which I think they're not going to let us inside, actually. I have a feeling they're not going to let us inside. So they might, at best, be willing to supply maybe some able fighters. But if we can get the drop on them, I think that would be in our best advantage. It'll give us the opportunity to hit them with our fire arsenal before engaging to handle their regenerative issue.
Makes sense. Well, if that's the plan, there is one more thing I'd like to add to my report. One thing you might find interesting, I did camp on the shores of the Candlemere and witnessed the will-o-wisp phenomenon to which you have described. I believe the reason which they are drawn there, and the reason, ultimately, that hundreds of foul, vile creatures don't just swarm Rooston and eat all of you alive, is because something is holding them. That's not... It's almost as if they are intoxicated. The sheer amount of whatever is there has them... Their senses are dull. They show up, they float, you see them, but they don't wish to leave because they're essentially just drawing in too much of that which they require. They've overindulged, shall we say. That said, I wouldn't necessarily march an army there. The more humanoid brains for them to pick up upon would certainly be worse, but the five of you could most likely, probably, only assuming you don't get too afraid, draw the attention of a few of them. However, that probably means there's something there that's much worse than a will-o-wisp.
Ghost moon radishes, probably.
Ah, yes, indeed, the ghost radishes, spiciest of all radishes.
Don't give Cal any ideas. He might go try to eat one. Turn into a will-o-wisp.
I'm not a ghost. Why would I want to eat a ghost moon?
They're not ghosts either.
Yes, they are.
We established this.
Established that.
They are not ghosts. It's hard to say what they are, where they're from. They only appear as such. The only rule of an aberration is there are no rules.
Fair enough.
But yes, I figured you'd like to know.
Well, you have certainly earned your paycheck this month, so
He nods, bows.
keep up the good work.
Of course, why wouldn't I? Why did you think I, Jubilas Nartrapple, would not keep up the good work?
Well, I never trust anyone exclusively at their word. They need to show that their word is actually worth something, and you have done this excellently, so I thank you for your report.
Of course.
My lord.
He nods.
Will you be joining us
I suppose I can.
in this excursion to root out this dastardly threat that is the troll army?
I wouldn't exactly fancy myself a frontline warrior, but I must admit, those dwarven ruins do look rather exciting to me. I would like to see the inside of them, but not also see the inside of a troll as I am consumed.
I'm sure you could play some auxiliary role. You seem to be very good at scouting.
Yes, indeed. They never find you when you have too much illusory magic.
There you go. We're going to need someone who can get close enough to spot their location, their movement, and report back.
Ah, yes, indeed.
I can think of no one better.
If they find me, all I do is snap my fingers, and he does so, and a wall of fire appears in the throne room. And he snaps and goes away.
All right.
It's an illusion. They are illusory. But a troll doesn't realize that. If a troll tried hard enough, a troll could... That does not smell like fire. But they get too scared. Too fast, they run.
Just getting PTSD of the wall of fire that stupid fairy dragon cast at us while we were at the berry bush.
Provash probably does fall out of the familiar satchel that he goes back into and just starts cackling in Draconic. Mm-hmm. It's not that funny. It's kind of funny.
Keep it up, fairy dragon. You'll see what happens when my patience are tested too far.
When do you plan on departing?
I don't think we should delay. As soon as we can gather up the mercenaries, gather supplies. Do we have everything we need? Have we collected our fire arrows and everything? I know they're ready. I just don't know if we've collected them.
Yeah, they're ready and can be collected.
Yeah, so we'll collect supplies, collect the mercs, make sure that we have provisions for the trip, and set out. What time is it? Is it late right now?
Yeah, it'd probably be like a first thing in the morning kind of thing.
We'll set out at dawn.
Okay.
Anyone have any closing remarks or questions or concerns?
No, not really. I mean, is it possible to get the mercenaries the slow-burning bolts as opposed to arrows?
Yeah.
Do we have time to do that?
It can be done.
They have crossbows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely, we've got some. So who's all got bows? We have Senya and you, right? You two have composite longbows, and then we have the crossbows on.
Nope.
I was going to say Ionia.
Okay. Yep.
Ionia has a crossbow, and the mercs have crossbows. All
I
right.
get like 40
Kato,
to spread 40 bolts to
Arcturus,
spread them.
You have one, even if it's. I mean, there's no harm in taking a shot and then dropping it on the floor. Just in the opening volley, you might get lucky. Who knows? Nat 20s happen.
Who are you saying this to?
I'm saying this to you, Esker, as the player.
Oh no, there is harm. I can't. I don't want to bother with the weight.
Oh, it's a weight thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right, because you fixed your stats, and now you have no strength.
Basically.
I remember, because you're old.
Right.
Anyway,
All right, so no
we can get
conflict.
like 40 bolts and like.
Do you have any
split 'em up.
fire magic? You have that wand of fire, don't you?
No, we sold that.
Magic missiles.
Ah, we sold off the fire
Sold
one.
the exploding fire one.
Oh my god, what's so dumb? We were so dumb.
Said
Well, I
that
guess
a
we
Well,
didn't know
the
we were
theory
gonna
was that we would always have people
I
in
know.
melee combat.
I know, but
And so
this is the one instance where it might have actually come in handy.
The
It's
one.
fine. It's fine.
Don't
don't
Magic
ask
missiles are-
Tibor. He'll tell you it was handy every single.
It was.
It's okay if Kato's in the way. Just shoot it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
fine.
reflex it.
I'd like to
Exactly.
have a private conversation with Kato before we go.
Shh,
I don't know if anyone else has anything
Nah.
they want to.
I would Cal would go to Bakken and say, hey, we need 40 of those burning things, but we need it in like bolt size.
Of
So
course.
it should be
20,
easier to do.
Yeah.
Going troll hunting, are you?
'Cause bolts
for
are
each?
smaller. Yes.
10 for each mark, 10 for Ionia, and then we have arrows. We already have the arrows for you and Senya, right?
And then I would go. Oh, I didn't take any arrows. I just came on. Yeah, 'cause I'm not gonna shoot an arrow, dude. I'm just gonna.
Do you have a flaming javelin? That'd be cool.
No.
You have a flaming javelin.
And then I'm going to tell Dak he's gonna have to delegate some of his responsibilities.
But he's not allowed to tell anyone.
He's got to delegate. He's gonna have to figure that out.
Find a way to delegate your responsibility that you're not allowed to tell anyone about.
He's got to do something.
It's the impossible task.
You
Because
shakily
if
nods.
they die, he's not long after.
Oh. All right. I will see you all in the morning. And yes, Artoris, you can have a word after everyone is cleared out.
I suppose I should ask, would you like me to go scout now, or should I wait, travel with
One
the main
quick
army?
second.
Does everybody leave? What's everybody doing?
Yeah.
There we go. I think I fixed it. Say something.
Yep.
Oh,
Something.
Okay.
I
Why?
want to go hunt.
What? So you're hunting.
Gonna go hunt, collecting food for our voyage tomorrow. That's
All right. So we're here alone. Why are we aiding the Uruks?
Artoris. As I mentioned, debt and favors is the currency of nobility. We don't care so much about money. We have plenty of it. I mean, we do care about it. That's why we're rich. But when it comes to the true currency of the world, it is having favors owed. You save someone, you help someone, you help them defend against a coming threat. They owe you. Just look at the kobolds. Look at Sootscale. He owes us a life debt, and look how we've benefited. If these Uruksi can also, be indebted to us as the Sootscales are, it puts us in an advantageous position.
My concern is twofold. One, unlike the kobolds, specifically their chief, the Uruksi were rather cold at receiving us the first time. I don't see as much promise in them to form a more long-lasting partnership, but perhaps even more than that. As you've pointed out in the past, while the kobolds and having them around of great benefit to us, and I'm of course one of their biggest supporters, they do add a particular complication to that region. Similarly, the Uruksi will add a complication to our southwest.
Right. You're concerned that we're helping create too many like separate powers by aiding these groups without.
I'm just proposing, or at least wondering why the alternative of letting the trolls attack the Aruxi village and then dealing with the trolls after they have been defeated or weakened enough. Maybe they'll even just lose that battle.
Perhaps it's the idea. It was the information that came to light about it being like essentially their hatchery. The thought of the trolls crushing the Aruxi defenses and just devouring all of their young to be unsettling.
I suppose. But it would make expansion to the southwest a bit simpler.
Yeah, what T-board also, yeah. Out of character, yeah, I feel like the reason they were cold is because we literally marched on their sacred lands. But with that said, in character, yes, and that is one of those things we need to weigh. Obviously, we don't want to. We're here to obviously situate ourselves as the power in this area and to build the civilization. And if we spend all of our time propping up other factions, all we're doing is making things more difficult for us in the long run. Hell, we may even be propping up a faction that ends up being our undoing in the future.
Right.
Wouldn't it be
what if we
sad
prop
irony
the Aruxi up and then they make an alliance with the kobolds and then hello.
Wouldn't it be sad? Yeah, wouldn't it be some sad irony if the Aruxi, after we're the ones who were to drive us out of these lands? With that said, I just can't abide by the thought of the trolls overrunning them and destroying what is essentially a nursery. That thought chills me to the core.
Very well.
So, what do we do?
Well, it seems that the decision's been made, unfortunately, but what I would say is if the opportunity presents itself over the course of the coming days to make a choice between the well-being of the Aruxi and the well-being of our people, I'm sure we're of the same mind where our emphasis should be.
I think we are. Yes. I think that we can agree on.
Very good. That's all I had to say. So with that, I suppose we should both rest up for the voyage tomorrow.
Yep, it's gonna be. Oh boy. Also, I feel like I don't think we could. I question our ability to fight a whole army of trolls on our own. So maybe it could very well be that the Aruxi are a necessity at this stage as well.
Sure, I just wouldn't mind seeing them mount as good of a defense as possible and seeing what happens.
Seeing what happens. They may not even accept our help. They may be too.
Also true. Based on last time, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they may feel like they can do well enough on their own. Like I said, all we're going to do is give them the warning and see if they are interested in fighting with us against the trolls. That's all. We're simply extending that the friendly warning of their potential arrival. Okay, good enough.
Okay. So then, as I interpret it, the squad plus Jubilos plus Rogue Squadron head to the Aruxi village.
Yeah, we're gonna set up in the event that there's some form of forward, because we did find a troll at Amalia's, which was unsettlingly close to where we are. We are going, since we did spend some build points last session, sort of equipping the town. We're gonna put the town while we're gone. we're going to put the town on alert. Weapons at the ready, just in case anything were to approach.
How much for those 2 bundles of bolts, Tommy?
That is a fine question. I forget the exact cost. I will grab it really quickly.
I think it was
much.
I think it was 150 for the. I don't know why 150 sticks in my head, but
Slow burning arrows. They are from there. They are.
probably not that much.
Yeah, I don't think they were a whole heck of a lot, but they were probably more than like a couple of gold. If I had to guess, it would be. Yes, indeed, 150 gold. So
That was
since Bakken is giving you crafting prices, 150 gold would get you 2 rounds of
Right.
them.
Are we cool with taking that out of the kingdom funds? Since we're giving it.
I feel I don't think there's much choice. I think that's what's there for, right?
I just wanted to make sure everyone's cool
Well,
with it.
make sure our treasurer doesn't. Our bookkeeper is okay with that. Ionia?
She stepped away.
Well then, in her absence, I will make the decision on her behalf that yes, we shall fund this expedition out of kingdom funds.
Okay.
Let it be. What is that thing? So let it be written. So let it be done.
So let it be done.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Does
He has spoken.
We currently have.
Oh, she back.
She back?
I'm not feeling great, so
I can't hear you.
She's not feeling the best, so she's gonna be kind of like chiming in, basically.
Aw.
I'll watch for you in chat.
Okay.
But I guess, does Jubilos travel with the squad, or do you want him to go ahead?
He's going to come with us at least up until Amalia's, I would imagine. Once we get a little further in, we'll probably split. But for the beginning, we'll travel together.
Okay, works for me. This is top of the morning, basically. Top of the morning. When you reach Amalia's hut, the scene is basically the same as when you came upon it the first time. The gate is shut. No one comes out to greet you. Jubilos just, Amalia, my dear! Wait a minute. Amalia! I'm sorry, I know I brought the buffoons and the king of the buffoons, but I promise they'll be on, and he turns around, much better behavior this time, yes? And there's no response.
Cato turns to Jubila and says, "Still your tongue, or I will remove it.
What?
You will not refer to me as such."
I only simply call them as I see them. But in any case, he turns, Amalia, my dear, are you home? And there's no response.
She's off catching some capybaras of her own.
Oh, Cal will ring the bell. Come on out, Twitch. I'm gonna have time for this.
No response.
She's not here. Let's go.
I mean, this would be an opportune.
Burning the house down.
This would be an opportune opportunity to burn that down. Yeah, we got fire
Wanna
arrows.
marry this chick or murder this chick? What is wrong with you?
I'm a complicated man.
Or a psychopath?
What is a psychopath if not an extremely complicated man?
Complicated man. All right. Well, that is I guess we will not be getting. We will be not getting our help, but we cannot dally. So we move onward to the Erixus village.
Who's Ryan Gorestepper, man? I just want to know.
Can I just roll a quick perception check on the hut?
Yeah, sure.
I'm saying, who's Ryan Gorestepper?
Gorestopper.
Gorestepper.
Oh, those you named the
Second
horses.
Yeah.
I'm writing
If I
it.
can find it.
I'll write it. So I have writings. I have some writing skill.
Don't put your hand too close to his mouth.
Wow, that's quite
Have it.
interesting.
Taking a taste for the flesh.
Oh wait, you get a plus
He's
14.
a
What?
bit of a biter.
So Arturus, as the conversation is going on, begins to look around, and nothing really seems out of the ordinary. Almost like too perfectly so.
Ooh, perfect.
Like the
Should
gate,
go in.
the gate is shut. It's not locked, but it's shut in like a perfect line, basically. It dawns on our tourist that the scene could have been doctored.
Dispel. Do you have dispel magic of some kind?
Not yet.
Get rid of any like an illusion that may be present. No.
Last time was this? No, this wasn't where I detect magic and blew my head off. That was
No.
in the. Was
We
in
do,
the orb.
we do have a master illusionist in the group that might be able to help you.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll just say simply, something seems off.
I tend to agree. You, Taxman, do you understand the simplicities of divination for enchantments or illusions or things of that nature?
I do.
Would you like to cast it or shall I?
Why don't you take point on this one?
Of course, of course. Amalia, my dear, if you've set up any symbols of exploding to trigger when they are hit with detect magic, now would be an appropriate time to tell me. May Calistria have mercy on my soul. And holds out his hand. About 20 seconds pass. Nothing. Not even her normal wards. You could open that gate right now and she'd have no idea.
Her wards are gone.
She has not set her traps, no.
What was the exact nature of our deal?
Because
That
we
would not
wouldn't
settle.
we wouldn't settle on that.
I mean, was there an implied clause there that we wouldn't?
Well, we're already here.
And root around?
I mean,
No.
it doesn't matter because the curse was a phony anyway.
Well, there's still the matter of our honor.
Oh.
You did sign a contract,
All right, we've dawdled too long. I'm gonna open the gate or attempt to open the gate.
Yeah, the gate
Push it
opens.
open.
Nothing stops it from opening up. Jubilost steps up in front of you. Amalia, this is not funny.
I'm not gonna follow. I will wait on the outside.
I will take a look back at the group that all seem to be just like standing there. Really?
Why would I
We've
want to
determined
go
there's-
into a
we've
witch's
determined-
hut?
We've determined
For
there
what?
are no traps. So let's go.
Why do you
If
want
something
to
looks suspicious, let's investigate. And he marches up to the front door
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We did give our word that no.
and he knocks on the door. Dunk 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 dunk.
No response.
Ione is there with you, so you got her, of course.
Jubilost follows along, detects magic on the door. No wards here either.
I'll arcane eye inside.
Okay. The inside appears basically the same as when you left it. It's pretty disorganized, except for in such a place where the arcane crafting happens, and that's everything is in its proper place, so it doesn't get knocked over and explode. Amalia is not inside.
This is
mean-
not what we set out for. She's not here.
It's just peculiar
But
that
we
she
can
would
learn so
leave,
much
but
about
not have any not have her ward set up, not have any form of.
Maybe she got abducted somewhere. And here we are, stomping around on her private property.
Yes, you're abducted. I mean, I hope not, but maybe she's troll food right now. Who knows?
Yeah.
I should
Like-
certainly hope not. She's
The
got enough.
trolls wouldn't have.
She has enough understanding of the arcane arts that it doesn't matter how many trolls come here. She'll snap her fingers and explode all of them. To say nothing of her ability to fly, teleport away. It's
Why don't you just leave her a note and let's be on with it? This place gives me the creeps and I don't like it. Yeah.
Ionia is peeking through the windows.
and nothing. You don't see anything through the windows that you wouldn't see through the eye.
Is the front door locked?
Yes,
Just being nosy.
front door's locked.
So I check the front door and it is locked. All right, well, the door's locked, so I can't in good conscience break and enter. So I guess we swing by on our way back and see if hope everything's okay. I exit the, or I turn around and head back through the gate. And once everyone else is back through, assuming you guys come with, I'm gonna close the gate shut, and this is suspiciously not suspicious at all. I don't know, it's weird.
Jubilost
She's
takes
off.
like 30 seconds longer to like scribble a note really quick and push it under the door.
She's off organizing the troll attack.
Yep.
This whole thing was a setup.
She's queen of the trolls. Fools.
She just needed the promise to be honored for like a few days to a
Yeah.
week, so that she could
Get her
have
armies
enough time
together.
Mhm.
Jubilost
All
makes
right.
his way back.
All right, onward to the Uruxi camp.
Onward you go, and you guys get about here. I'll say. Whoop. Give me that. I need to move this. Boop, right there. If everyone can make a perception check for me.
Ooh, I love it when we do this.
I love it when I get to use my eyes for seeing things.
Damn,
More
that
pointy
keen
ears.
senses. Go. Yet you still get beaten out by Arcturus.
Yeah. His character's the only one that could beat me on the 20.
He is wisdom based. He's very good at seeing stuff. Okay, so it's everyone smells this. The horses and Minoru get it first. Like as you're moving, as you begin to get into the tree line, the smell is it's hard to place, but the animals start to like get real uncomfortable. Minoru starts whining, the horses get real nervous. And then eventually y'all, like it's not, they pick it up and then the wind shifts. So y'all pick up a Arcana, Craft Alchemy, any of those checks.
Anybody got that?
Is this the troll poop we're smelling?
No.
No, it appears, what you're smelling is chlorine gas.
Oh.
Like
Oh,
it's
swimming
like,
pool. That's cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's good.
it's really like you guys, the humanoids, when the wind shifts, you get like bits and pieces of it on the wind, and then the wind goes a different direction and you don't get it anymore. But it's enough to where the animals are all real uncomfortable because they smell it and like can't comprehend what it is.
So what does that mean?
We should get out of here.
Why?
Get out of here. Why? What is it? What does that smell?
That smells like we're about to explode.
I don't.
No,
like
my dear, I don't think we're about to explode, but I don't think you're inherently wrong.
Yeah, we're. This will make us extremely ill, correct?
It-
I'm very-
Not enough to make you ill. It's
Okay,
more
it's not
like
that
it's
bad.
like it has dissipated on the wind. kind
Okay.
of thing.
So it's the source is further.
And like it's lingering.
Which direction is the wind blowing?
You guys are catching it when it blows from the direction you're heading.
Oh,
Oh, great! We're going into it.
All right. Well,
It's a
So-
good way to kill some lizard folk. Just dump a board of chlorine in there.
so we would know if we started to approach too close, like it would start to become more apparent, right?
Yeah. Like if it's
Odor.
going to cause harm, you'll know.
Right now, it's just faint.
Right
I
now,
say
it's just
we-
like, oh.
Ugh. I say we invest like at least for the time being, and we keep moving.
maybe we should have Maybe we should have the dragon scout it.
That's probably
I mean,
a good idea. We shouldn't all just march into the
The chlorine gas.
the chlorine gas. Someone who is quick and can hold their breath for a long time should. Dandelion.
Dragons can hold up breath.
We're not humble bard.
What is his real name? Jubilo?
Jubilost.
Jubilas.
Jubilas.
Hello.
Can you
Okay.
is the Perlavash there can fly pretty high, I imagine, over
Nuts.
the gas.
Mm-hmm.
Can you send him ahead to see what if he can
think he would
spot
want
the
to
sword?
fly low when
Is it
under
high or
the
low?
it's low.
Chlorine
You
gas
usually
heavy,
want to
right?
go under.
I could send my
Yes.
familiar, but I would not send the poor little thing into danger solo. I will go ahead. And he dismounts, and Perlavash has been like circling slowly around Jubilost's head. Jubilost opens a little satchel, and Perlavash like flies into it, and then he closes it, and Jubilost snaps his fingers and kind of like whistles a little tune. And as that happens, you no longer see him, but can see the footprints he is leaving behind as he begins to scout ahead.
God, invisibility. That's useful.
Some time passes. How do you want to like wait for him to come back?
We'll start moving forward, but like at a
leisurely pace.
Yeah, at a cautious pace.
Okay.
As to not walk straight into the source of it.
That makes sense. So, how much of a head start does Jubilost get on y'all?
Probably until we can't see his feet no more, or footsteps.
And he's going to be moving quite a bit faster than we are. We're going to be.
But you don't give him like a 5-minute head start or something like
that? Nah,
okay.
Just like a minute.
Okay, so you guys, Jubilost would definitely see it first, but he doesn't react. You guys come to a clearing in the forest whereupon the bodies of trolls are scattered.
Ooh.
There's probably about 50 of them.
Before the Uruxi village?
Yeah. Basically where Kato's token is sitting on the board right now.
50 bodies?
Yeah. The bodies are... The first thing you see, you might even mistake it for like a fallen over tree as big as the bone of a troll's arm would be, just kind of like sticking out, and the skin has been melted off. And the same is kind of true for all of these bodies, as if like they'd run into something and then melted to death.
So
are we talking like acid melt?
Yeah.
That would explain the smell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Chlorine bomb.
One thing you also notice is all of the bodies are missing their heads.
Jesus.
Looks like someone beat us to it.
Missing their heads, though.
I wonder if...
Kalira will take a look around, see if she can find any tracks that are non-troll.
Sure. Give me a survival check.
Nope.
I'm gonna help out.
Yeah, Kalira's got a whole lot of nothing. Senya, on the other hand, you don't find any tracks that aren't trolls, but what you do find is the bodies have been, in some cases, dragged back into this clearing. It takes a little bit of time to track all this information down, but it looks like what happened was the trolls were marching and then something set on them, and then they wanted to flee, and then they were hunted down and killed, and then dragged back.
Would I be able to determine, or what would I need to roll to determine whether or not, is this the work of magic or technology?
Yeah.
Is this Amalia?
In this setting, you can always assume it was magic. Technology, like even alchemy would fall.
Wouldn't do
loosely.
something like this?
No,
Okay.
it could, but it would fall in the same category.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I mean. Is it alchemy or magic? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
No,
like, is it a knowledge? Okay.
The all-encompassing.
Damn.
So you guys are carrying some stuff that you could hit a troll with, and you could shut off the troll's regeneration, and then you could stab it, and in that like 6 seconds of vulnerability, the troll is mortal. It looks more like, in this case, something's primary means of causing harm was to expel gas. And rather than get their hands dirty, it's just, this is something trolls. This is something that a troll, like, snap fingers, there they go kind of thing. Magic, definitely.
Troll bomb.
But not necessarily a spell. More like something did this innately.
Interesting.
Jubilost, still invisible, appears at, like, if Kato is mounted, appears, like, at Kato's side. Just, Kato, we need to leave. Now. Right now.
I would be inclined to just trust him.
What is it?
Stop asking questions.
I don't know any. I don't know any of that. I don't know about any.
Why don't you
of these
ever
things.
listen? And Kalir picks Kato.
I'm on a horse. You can't pick me up unless you're picking.
You didn't
up
get
my
off your horse?
No.
I immediately start back.
I tell Gore Stepper to move. Gore Stepper,
All right.
take the fop.
Take a fop home. All right. Hands off. I turn the horse around.
As y'all start going to back off, if everybody can give me a quick perception check.
Damn, rip. There we go. Someone can roll.
So Ionia's got it. Really, it's just Ionia and Clara. That it's a wonder you don't see this thing until it starts moving because it's real big. The first thing you notice is the horn as it, like, slithers almost. Though it's moving on 4 feet through the tree line, like just on the other side of the clearing. The horn breaks the tree line. Then the snout, then the rest of the spikes, then all the rest of his head and neck, his wings. A green dragon enters the clearing.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
You must
But
be...
only you two see it.
Everyone else doesn't see it until, like, it is in the clearing. They see, like, the little bit of movement of this thing that has faded into the tree line. And then just, like, poof, here I am. And here you are. Where are you going? I'd like a parlay.
Well, we should probably oblige.
How big is this thing?
It's not much bigger than the horses, but, like, bigger enough. About the size of, like, in relation to the Dovahkiin and a Skyrim dragon.
Okay.
You said the dragon said it would like to parlay?
Yeah.
Speaking
common.
Common.
Jubilost gets
Kato
real quiet. This whole time he's been like, we need to go, don't ask questions, shut the hell up, Kato, we need to leave right now.
And now we're beset upon us by a thing that looks like a
work
dragon.
out though, because we have kobold allies, and now we could make a dragon ally.
Or it could want to eat us. Kato will dismount his horse, and with his hand firmly fixed to his the hilt at his belt, will slowly step forward and say,
Howdy.
I am Kato Sicarius. It is I, Kato Sicarius.
Smooth.
And who might you be?
My name is Zaroom. These are my lands. Unfortunately, I have not had the chance to treat with those such as yourselves, and now that you have appeared, I'd like to make an offering. Tribute to mighty Lord Sicarius. And with that, his tail comes up and around, and you notice it now, but you didn't quite see it before. In the tree line over your heads, it looks like the branches and things had been woven almost magically into a net. And the tail pulls the net, and the net gives, and the trolls' heads all dump at Kato's feet.
I take it this was your handiwork then. Well done.
What can I say? I believe humans say that scissors cuts paper. I breathe the thing, and he kind of like snorts a little, and a little bit of gas escapes his nostrils.
Oh. Well, we know this now. I think we're starting to piece together what happened here. So what?
the dragon, for lack of a better, no, not for lack of a better way to say it, it'd be very unflavored. The dragon sphinxes. He puts his front two paws or claws forward and then rests his head on them and then like assumes a sitting position and like looks at Kato intrigued.
Ionia looks at the dragon, intrigued.
So, how long have you been watching us?
Oh, for a while.
And what brings you to appear before us now?
As I said, I have powerful neighbors. I'd like to meet these neighbors. I'd like to, well, you know, make sure they're not going to barge into my home. Consider it a humble peace offering from a friendly neighbor to ensure that does not happen.
Kato,
Not for me.
Kato turns to look back at
Where's your
everyone.
home? Where's your home?
Do you really think I
Dragon.
would tell you that? You don't
Well,
need
how
to
do
know
we
what my
know
lair
if-
is.
How we know if we're gonna barge into it if we don't know where it is?
You'll smell me
It's
first.
That I do not doubt.
I mean, you wanted to make a powerful ally.
And powerful I am.
Powerful enough to kill 50 trolls.
You treat with lizards and mages. Ha! Pathetic. You could have better friends, Kato.
Ouch.
Yeah, this is scathing, huh?
So all you want in return is for us to just leave you be, and then that's it?
Perhaps no. Perhaps
You leave us in return?
no. I don't.
Wait.
I think we could have a better partnership than that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking what the terms are here that are being presented to us.
That you're offering. Speak plainly.
Well, plainly. And he smiles real big, teeth that are all about as big as Aldoria dueling swords.
The currency. That's a scale that I can easily identify with.
Indeed. Humanoids. They come here. They establish their kingdoms. I have and he doesn't like, I guess his wings flap to do the air quotes, right? It's like, kingdom. Alliances require trades, require tributes, require... Oh, sometimes I get hungry. Sometimes I tire of feasting upon... And he, like, brushes one of the troll heads with his forelimb.
Cal starts cackling. And there's the rub.
Honorable, great, noble king. Surely you have something to offer me. He just kind of like, his front legs that like, he puts one claw on top of the other and then one claw on top of the other, like almost just like playing around, knocks a couple of the heads over.
Kalira kind of leans over to Ionia and goes, I really hope you're not a virgin witch. She kind of writes herself on the horse.
How do you take to donkey rats? So you come here before us. You seemingly eliminate the enemy that we sought out to handle ourselves. And you ask for food? What?
Food, shiny things, things I can study. Now, granted, I have not eliminated all of the trolls. What can I say? They've been a valid and valuable food source for most of my life. But when And he motions his head at the array of corpses before you. I think this lot was going to try and take out my new best friend. Don't want that.
Oh, we're friends now.
He nods. Power respects power.
See, I know you're playing me here, but it's working.
I thought it might.
All right. You are clearly a powerful and majestic creature.
He smiles real big at that.
And as you said, power respects power, so we will refrain from encroaching upon your home, even though you refuse to tell us where it is. But so we cannot, say there may not be any accidents if you're not willing to divulge its location. But perhaps if you could provide a general idea of where we are not to.
A tile, if you will.
With that said, if not, I understand. I respect your privacy and your hesitation to divulge your home, which I take it you've hidden and protected against many threats over the years. So, very well.
I have claimed the lands that you refer to as the Gnarl Marches for a long, long time. And where the trees stand, that is my domain.
That's a large domain.
I am a large creature. He rolls his shoulders.
How long have you been here?
Such a uncouth question. I was hatched here.
I know nothing of your kind, though I am interested.
He nods. What would you like to know?
Do you make a good coat? No, I'm just kidding. Kidding. That was not. I don't know. My curiosity is being satisfied so far. So you wish to engage in trade, then? We find a lot of bubbles in our journeys, for sure.
Precisely.
What is it that you offer in return?
I won't kill and eat you right now.
Yes, you see that deal sounds a little one-sided.
He smiles. Oh, I know. I suppose alternatively, if you would like to live, I could take the payment out of your settlement.
And see, here we started off so friendly, like how quickly we devolved into threats. Cato turns back to his compatriots. What are you guys? Are you just standing there like frozen like statues?
I'm laughing at you.
And you're laughing at me. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
As this conversation has gone on, Jubilost's invisibility spell has elapsed, and he's realized he's son of a bitch, and then pops back invisible again.
Are green dragons in this
so undecided.
like in this world considered chromatic?
Yeah, they are.
So evil.
Make knowledge arcana checks, squad.
Squad.
What do we arcane?
Yeah, knowledge arcana.
Yeah, I know nothing about arcana.
Yeah, chromatic dragons are very, like, the stereotypical stories of dragons you hear from the rest of high fantasy. That's the idea. This thing is an apex predator. It has, probably because no one has been able to come in and question the right to rule, shall we say, of this particular dragon, claimed a large swath of territory as its own to explore, hunt, exact tribute from. Frankly, it's probably for the best that the Sootscales don't know that there's a green dragon running around here somewhere. Because if they did, they probably wouldn't have converted to Torog worship. Rather, they'd have just fallen in with this guy.
Well, we can't have that.
More specifically, as far as green dragons go, of all of the chromatic dragons, they are the more, like, you can deal with them diplomatically. A green dragon is quite interested in, like, the pursuit of knowledge and physical and mental perfection, studies of all the things, basically. They're pretty tied in with nature as well. Like, this guy's moving through the forest effortlessly because, like, he has some of the similar powers that, like, a lesser ranking druid would have innately. Also, he can breathe underwater. Also, he can, like, he's probably been watching you from the Tuskwater. If he knows you're there, he could just under the water and you'd never see him aside from maybe, like, a little green horn shark finning out from time to time.
Is there any way we could have a sidebar where the dragon would not be able to hear what we're saying?
You could certainly... I don't want to be like, you could certainly try. But it's hard to phrase it in other ways.
So this thing is the size of a horse, roughly.
Mechanically, it is size category large. The wingspan is what makes it seem bigger.
Right. Okay. So it's.
And I guess Ionia would be able to be like, this dragon has a lot of growing left to do. It's certainly been out of the egg for a while, but you'd call it not
adolescent.
Yeah, not quite a full adult, but not quite a kid anymore either. If you wanted to, like, if this were to go bad, you could try to deal with it. It's at that point, it's more like what happens to Rogue Squadron, who gets caught in the blast.
Sooner than later if we're gonna fight this little one.
Little one.
I think if here's the thing, it's trying to extort us right now, which is clear. It's putting on a show in all the heads that it just dropped at our feet and the body. The bodies were not laid here by accident. As he said, we determined they were killed, hunted individually, and dragged back. So it's not like he killed 50 trolls by himself. He killed them one by one and dragged them here to make a show, dropping a net of heads at our feet.
Ambushed the squad, and then the squadron of trolls tried to flee, and then he dragged them back.
Yeah, picking them off individually.
I think he took out a couple of them. I mean, he's got a
for sure.
Breath. I don't think he did it one by one, but
I know. I just he's not something that just like bodied 50 trolls by himself, though. Is what I'm saying. I don't think we should. And now he's here he's threatening us basically with extortion, and I just don't take kindly to this guy right now.
I think he makes a powerful ally, and I would like to work.
He wants sacrifices.
Like have a conversation over notes in my journal. We can all kind of gather around and write notes to each other so the dragon can't see me.
I'm Durgan is entitled to a sense motive, I feel like. How's my sense motive? Why don't I have ranks in sense motive? This dragon is a poopy head. Well, fair enough. I guess he has to have some weakness. I'm gonna roll a d20. If you'd like to talk it over, I'm more than happy. I understand. A deal of this magnitude is not one to be entered into lightly. But let me stress, if any of you go to flee, I'll kill and eat all of you. And I mean the same for you, Gnome. Jigloss just... God damn it. I should have known better. And he pops out of invisibility.
Yeah, he's not even going to let us leave if we just wanted to turn around and go home. I'd say we... All right. I'm scribbling a note. And the note has attack patterns on it.
I do not scribble any notes, and I just say openly. If the dragon wanted to kill us, it could have and still could very easily do it. Instead, it chose to deal with our enemies and then make a showing to have this meeting. So it might be grandstanding a little bit, but ultimately there's obviously some intent to work with us here.
Work with us or have us supplicant to hit. That's what it sounds like to me.
Again, if it wanted to do that,
it
would be relatively simple.
It'd be way easier to convince us that we are even partners, even though we are its obliging servants. It's a lot easier to keep someone on the thumb when they think they're getting something out of it, when really all we're doing is staying alive. This is the same thing with Oleg at his old place. If that's what you want. They want to keep serving up this creature items of value and sacrifices of flesh
in exchange
just to
for
make sure that we stay alive. Is that what you want, Blood Priest?
Is the alternative we die here and now because this thing killed 50 trolls and we barely scraped together one with an ally that is not here with?
It's, as I said, I think it's
there was a
grandstanding.
warband of trolls marching toward us, and it soloed them. I don't care what spin you want to put on it. It happened.
Though it used a method that apparently trolls seem to be.
Do you want to inhale chlorine gas?
I can hold my breath for a long time.
Do you know anyone who is immune to the effects of chlorine gas? Because I sure don't.
I'm just saying, I have two levels of concern here. One is I think we have an opportunity to deal with an individual, by his own admission, is interested in knowledge and artifacts, not necessarily just sacrifice. And two, I don't know that we're exactly in the strongest of bargaining positions, even if we disagree.
Or three, we just take this opportunity to get the drop on it,
and die to it.
We're not gonna die, Esker. You're way too
metagamey. This thing just killed 50 trolls, dude, and you're gonna be like, we will fight you.
I think it's I honestly, first of all, it's threatening us. The moment it said, when I asked like what it's going to give us in return, it's I won't eat you here and now. I was like, wrong answer.
Oh, I mean that might be your character's position, but I can tell you my character. We like what we just saw, and you want us to fight it.
I want to maybe drive it away.
It just
show that we're not
opened a net of 50 heads, threw them at our feet of enemies that again we struggled with Amalia to take down one of. And you're like, how dare you insult my honor? Throw down your glove. We will fight. I don't disagree that we have been insulted here, but even if you disagree with me as far as like if we could ever reach some sort of working relationship with this thing, which is fair under the circumstances, I still strongly urge you to consider that we might all just die here if we choose to fight for our honor and for our dignity.
And we die with honor.
I just think we have more of a role to play in this region, and I would hate to see our narrative end here.
Ionia busts out the snacks.
Here we go again.
Wait a minute. More of a, like, you think we have more of a role to play when, like, a few weeks ago you were just about.
What?
I mean, that was before Abadar started dropping roads and making it known to me that this was where he wanted me to be.
Are dragons creatures of chaos?
You'd be able to ask Ionia. This one, no.
This one is not chaotic?
Nope. This one probably has a similar mindset as, like, a lot of the Eldori noblemen.
We could actually discern its alignment. It would know we're doing it.
I don't want to ping it.
Could.
You just don't want to provoke this thing in any way.
I don't.
You're afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see the clearing we're standing in?
As I mentioned, crafted.
And to our left,
Specifically.
the lovely lights of the wisps at Candlemeyer Tower.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
I just feel
saying
like
we're surrounded by danger.
Oh,
There's all sorts of scary things.
yeah,
I
it's
feel
true.
like we should come to an agreement now. And in the future, my opinion is I hope that our working relationship with this fine being could improve. But if not, then, we can deal with that when it comes. But for the moment, the person who knows the most about our situation is Jubilosk over there. And
True. What is his?
he's more
what is-
terrified than the rest of us.
what's Jubilost's looking like right now?
Okay, so clearly he knows we're here. Clearly he knows I'm here. I tried to hide. Fool that I am. I was hoping he'd be a little smaller and his organs hadn't fully developed. No, clearly he can see things that are invisible. Splendid. Okay, well, what I'm thinking is if we were to turn around right now, ride the horses to death, not sleep, and just book it back home, he'd beat us there by hours. What I'm also thinking is that a green dragon is not... He's small. He's got a lot of growing left to do. And we have the advantage of numbers, but it's not going to be easy, and I don't think we're all walking away from it. What I'm also thinking is that this is not dissimilar from some of the other courts I've been privy to in my time. Granted, not every nobleman in Cheliax will say he'll eat you after, but certainly the killing part is not uncommon.
You concur. Most nobles are dicks.
Yes, indeed. This one just happens to be all about it. In any case, you could do whatever you want here. I will support you. Is it terrifying? Yes. Frankly, I was somewhat concerned it would be a pack of them or one much larger, given the fact that indeed 50 trolls lie dead before us. This guy probably took out 50 trolls because several of them would have died to the gas, then they'd panic because that which kills them innately in nature has appeared out of nowhere, they scatter, they put up no resistance, and the dragon lazily picks them off at his leisure, has enough time to sever their heads, for Christ's sakes, and then puts them in a...
No, that's actually a good point. How did he sever the heads?
I imagine, and Jubilost holds up, he makes a duck bill with his hands and does nam nam nam. Probably he bit them off.
Bit their heads off, spat them out.
Exactly. It's morbid and disgusting, but for him, it'd be like using hands. In any case, a dragon is a powerful ally. Frankly, he's not much different than allying with the Darolvan girl, or with the Aruxi Confederation, or the Kobolds, or anyone else. It's just a matter of, do you...
Except none of them
want to kill
try
you.
to extort us.
Or can eat us.
Or could eat us.
I'm pretty sure Amalia could if she really wanted to. The spells exist. If
mean,
her preferred
what?
method of execution would be to turn into a bear and nom upon you, certainly she could. But what is the difference between I'll kill you and eat you and I'll snap my fingers and fry you with electricity? At the end of the day, you're still dead, yes?
Yeah, no, that's... I agree. We should kill Amalia. He's right. Is that not what you were saying?
I mean, not necessarily. God damn it, Clara.
Putting my usual desire to, resolve things with violence aside, this is not like me just being like, come on, let's fight something. It's literally, this thing is threatening us, and I don't think it wants an equal partnership of any measure. I think it wants us under its thumb.
Certainly no. You're looking at worst case scenario, enslavement, but probably not. I think he would just soon kill you. Best case scenario, what's 2 steps above minionship? I'm not sure, but you understand. He would definitely...
Supplicant, it's like dark.
Can we call ourselves the lords and kings and rulers of this land if we enter into an indentured servitude?
Well, if I remember correctly, there was a point in time in your nation's history where Baron Syrian Aldori himself conquered using dragons. Jubilost shrugs. It's not uncommon.
Hmm.
Certainly they were not green. I believe the tales, if the flag is to be believed, a red dragon was the one.
The
Much-
Eldori did that as well?
The Eldori what?
The Eldori, I know, like, Coral did that, right? Did the
Coral
Eldori
did that, yeah. It wasn't the Eldori didn't. Sirius, or whatever his name is, Syrian, didn't use dragons.
You have caught me with my pants down. I thought it was... I get Coral the Conqueror and Syrian Eldori screwed up.
Coral the Conqueror showed up with an army of dragons.
And there it is, yes indeed.
Yeah, but he, like, there's rumors that he might have been a dragon himself. No one knows. No one knows how he was able to bring those dragons under his... under himself, but regardless, actually, the Eldori have a kind of a hatred for dragons, if nothing else, because they had to essentially surrender to a dragon army.
Mm.
So that's not helping the case at all. Actually, that's swiftly moving it in the other direction.
Indeed, yeah. The retcon goes, weren't you all annihilated by dragons once?
Yeah.
What if you had a friend that was
Pretty
one?
much.
Friend is a word I use loosely.
Well, I'm not going to be selfish enough to provoke battle and force you into something because I could. If I could, I could just pull my sword, charge, and we're basically in combat, whether you guys want to or not. That would be, as much as I want to do that, that would be a selfish way of resolving this dilemma. However, I
hazard a guess if you challenge the dragon to the duel, he might take you up on it.
And destroy.
I would respect the results of a one-on-one duel.
Ah, see, there it is. God. Abadar has spoken. Praise our new dragon overlords. Huzzah!
As interesting as that would be.
I don't know. I'm good either way. But personally, I feel like this dragon, I'm definitely not okay with it. With being some sort of pet of some winged... I mean, this is essentially a magic thing.
Kato's pet?
I'm not Kato's pet. Let's clear that right now. But it does solve our problem of needing a jail. So there's that.
What do you mean needing a jail?
Well, get some criminals. We just send them over to a friend over here, the Null Marches. Yeah.
And he can
They don't
criminals.
They don't come back. It's that easy. Then we don't have to give him anything of value.
How do you feel about that, Artoris?
Am I okay with that?
This thing's maw into our jail.
I mean, for very serious offenses, maybe.
I don't think there will be enough of those. I think it's just you break the law to the dragon.
Well, I mean, if we pose it as you break the law, you're banished to the Normal Marches. What happens.
That's true.
Oh yeah, now we're getting lawful evil.
Now we're getting here we go.
Oh, I'm lawful neutral, so I have to balance.
All right, we're probably boring this dragon to tears with our debate.
No, he's watching you just perfectly enthused, eyes wide.
When you've been living for hundreds of years,
you get what entertainment you can.
I suppose, as it dawns on me, what I would say is, in the course of your events, as I am given to understand them, you have encountered a Chelish noblewoman who has left her nobility behind and just wants to live in the forest all by herself. You've encountered, let's see, a group of less advanced humanoids, shall we say, who have gone from warring with each other to stumbling upon artifacts from the Darklands. That terrifies me in and of itself. I lose sleep every night.
Yeah, so do I.
The Uruxi will certainly, they're nomadic. They like to travel. They are not going to not go to places they consider sacred. And if you start despoiling them, they're not going to like it. To say nothing of the Tiger Lords, to say nothing of why ever it is the trolls are getting together. You can't be friends with all of them, but you can be friends with some of them. Who more closely aligns with your interests? And does it happen to be someone whose head is about as big as my entire body?
Not really. That's the thing. I don't think that this thing is meant to be our ally.
In my estimation, I
Meant to
feel
be? What
that
do you mean?
he's talking about some sort of weird destiny thing.
I just mean I don't see us forming a lasting relationship here.
I agree. Eventually, we're going to have to fight this creature
And-
at some
And
point.
would we rather fight it now or fight it at its lair or when it's bigger?
I mean, out of character. And when we have proper people with us and
We have
can
Rogue
bring in
Squadron.
Okay, Rogue Squad.
We have Rogue Squadron.
We have a few mercs.
And us.
50 or trolls lie dead around us.
Yeah.
Either way,
More
here's-
trolls in our entire civilization.
yeah. Whoopsie. And we wanted to. We were going to meet these on the field. This was going to be amazing.
I think my opinion is we try and form a working relationship with this noble and see how that plays out.
And I
It's
say,
at least worth a try.
And I say we cut it down now while we have the opportunity. And
As I said, if you want to 1v1 it, I will respect the outcome of
the duel. Oh my god. You're actually in. As suicidal as that sounds, I almost feel like if you guys aren't going to help, then I'll do it myself. Come, dragon. Let us have this be done. But then I'm going to be re-rolling, so out of character.
Okay,
Really
fair. I'm like,
hoping it
are we
doesn't
doing
come
this?
to
We
that.
gotta do it. We go fight a dragon. Kato gonna solo a dragon. Kato gonna get much more experience than everyone else he's in a party with. Kato the White.
You never. I've already told you, Fop. You never fight alone. My sword is always at your back. If you want to fight a dragon, we fight a dragon.
You're his pet.
Not
What
his
is-
pet.
What is
talking
what is Senya's thoughts on all? She's been. This is a pretty.
I thought before we fought the Stag Lord, we all agreed to work as a band, to work as a unit. You all seem to be forgetting that.
Well,
If one of us fall, we all fall.
If push comes to shove, I will fight a dragon. And I don't like its tone.
I'm not going to watch as one of us just marches off to go fight a dragon by himself. That's ridiculous.
I've heard that tone before and it didn't end well.
Which town?
would just beseech the party to, why don't we work with this creature for a while and see how it goes?
You mean
Still see no reason not to try.
Honor.
I rather
Honor.
like the banishment into the Gnarl Marches idea.
This dragon isn't going to become a full-grown dragon over the next 2 weeks. There's no reason we can't attempt to form a working relationship.
Here's the thing: it won't tell us where its home is. So even if we agree, we say, okay, fine, we'll give you some shinies, we'll give you some people, criminals perhaps. You leave us alone, and then we decide later. All right, this is an agreement we need to renege on. What do we do? Where do we find it? It's gonna send a hunting
find
party
us.
out through all the marshes trying to locate its den. Like, it's putting ourselves in a very precarious situation.
I imagine if we wanted to be found, it
Sure.
would find us.
Sure, and it would have the drop on us. Right now, we could at least be on equal footing.
Or it could say, oh, you're choosing to attack me. See ya, and then come back and harass us in the middle of something later, like Parliament.
Yeah, but I don't see this thing being cowardly like Parlavesh. At least. Well, I don't know. You never know. We can't ascertain its motives at all.
You could sense him. I'm like, you can though.
Natural 20 for a hunch. Let's go. Oh.
No, the much closer analogy here, like, he's not gonna like show up and troll you like a fairy dragon would. Rather, extortion. He is the picturesque, dare I say, king of the forest, basically, and you are his new subjects. or
Exactly.
new vassals, that kind of thing, rather than just, look, you're in a bad way, and he flyby attacks over you and vomits acid and the party dies. It'd be more like, you're a little late on your taxes, so I destroyed all the houses in Rooston. Me and my anger problems. Don't be late again. That kind of thing.
I mean, to be fair, we'd never be late on our taxes.
That's true.
No, that's fair. That was bad flavor text for the Church of Abadar.
No. That makes sense. No. That was good. But no, we don't pay taxes to... We're not a vassal. We're not... No, we're the king. You know, we are the lords and the kings of this land. We're not bowing to a dragon.
The simple reality is I am staunchly in favor of diplomacy. And it is informed by the 50 troll bodies surrounding us and the context of us struggling with one troll kill not 2 weeks ago.
But we are more equipped.
No, we're really not.
We have
There
Rogue
have been no
Squadron.
level up sessions since that.
We have Rogue Squadron and our Jubilee.
We're down in the
Jubilee.
mode.
Yeah,
We're
and
down
down
Molly
the
low,
witch.
busted OP.
And her little kitty too.
And your little kitty too.
I just think discretion is the better part of valor at times. I completely agree with what you're saying, Del, but I think in the context of our setting, and in the context of the net dropping 50 troll heads at our feet, we should make some concessions for the moment.
I think it's
Here's my thoughts. Our Taurus is wisdom based.
and his thoughts are wise.
And Kato is ego based.
It's very true. Kato's not going to bow. That's the thing. So if it comes to it,
Do we have to bow? Was that part of? Can we?
I mean,
we
whether
made- we
physically
made
or
Malia, when
whether
we-
physically or
Malia, she was unhappy with
symbolically.
what we were offering, and we made a deal. We compromised. We came up with something we were both happy with. Why can't we do the same thing here? Or at
Because
least
Let's get some diplomacy checks going.
Because his deal is do as I say and I won't eat you. That's a much different type of
that was
conversation.
kind of our deal too. We just weren't threatening to eat her because we're not dragons.
Sure. And we were in the position of authority in that situation, as we should be, as we are the lords of this, or self-proclaimed lords of this land. So that is the position we should have in all negotiations. In this negotiation, we are the ones who he is basically deeming himself the king of these lands, and we are, at his pleasure, which is, I just can't abide it. Like, even though what our Taurus says is right, there is that tang of fear almost sitting in Kato's belly right now. How can we call ourselves what we call ourselves if we submit to someone who claims to be a higher authority?
Aren't you like bluff based? Don't you have some kind of deceit thing going on?
You're suggesting he lied to the dragon?
I'm suggesting we humor him.
Sorry, I had to pull my headset off for a second. What was that you said, Tibor?
And she's suggesting that
that I bluff this thing? I mean, the diplomacy angle is it leaves us alone. The bluff angle, it might leave us alone. That still doesn't solve the problem of this thing being out there and
I just don't know that
returning.
we're in a particularly good position to solve that problem at this point.
I don't know if the position will ever get better. That's my concern.
I mean, we'll have armies later, not just a few guys that were friends of a dude that got his head blown.
The thing's only the size of a horse.
I don't think we need an entire army to fight one.
I'm just saying we will have that at our disposal. I mean, we might not need it, but we would be in a better position.
It's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
But even then, that's assuming our partnership didn't work out with this glorious.
It's also assuming we have any way of finding this creature. Like, I feel like if this thing wanted to get lost in the woods and not be found, it would not be found.
Until it wanted to, yeah.
Armies get decimated fighting a dragon on his home turf. Doesn't sound very smart.
That's kind of where we are right now.
Except we're not NPCs.
God damn it.
All right. Well, we need to. All right. I think we've run the circle of debate,
Well,
and we're
I
actually
think we
starting
need
to.
to debate this about 10 more minutes.
We're starting to recircle. We're trying to recircle, and clearly, my attempts to persuade the group is not, or at least Artoris. It's weird. I'm more hung up on Artoris's because I don't want to. I would feel bad to drag him into something he's vehemently opposed to. At the same time, I know Cal's got my back. I know Senya's got my back. Ionia, I have no idea what her stance is.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hard to tell with friends sometimes.
What's Rogue Squadron looking like?
Crapping their pants, basically. They are very, very afraid. The horses are afraid. They're just kind of standing on the circle. They're like, they'll defend themselves, but not well and not for long, and probably will try to break and run. This is like their pay grade.
Cowards.
Like, fighting a couple trolls is probably sort of a little within their like wheelhouse, but this is a couple miles above their pay grade.
I urge you, sire, to consider a little discretion here. Much as though I know it cuts against your nature.
Fine.
Have you guys tried this jerky though? It's pretty good.
Okay, so we know he didn't kill all the trolls, right? So why don't we just ask it if it could get rid of all of them for us, and we could tell it could have whatever treasures are in that lake.
No. My treasure.
He said he didn't want to kill all the trolls because he does use them as a food source.
As a food source.
Why don't it just keep that population down?
He does.
He already does.
It seems like it, yeah.
He's trying to act like he's doing us a favor by killing trolls, but he's not really.
He's just he's flexing. Is basically.
But he could have let the trolls
He
come
could
kill
have.
us all, and
Sure.
then taken them out on their way back.
Didn't he even have little lapdogs to go fetch him magic items and stuff?
Well,
so
sure,
that he
that's
could
his
use word?
incentive. But I'm just saying,
Are you a lapdog, Artoris?
I'm a living person, and I'd like to remain that way.
That was a really good clapback. That was real good. Hold on to that. I'm a living person, and I'd like to remain that way.
You just supplied a line for one of his future NPCs.
I'm a living person. I'd like to remain that way.
Doesn't have to be a permanent arrangement.
Has my
But
great
I
lord
know.
come with a decision yet?
All right. How do I want to put this eloquently? I challenge you to single. No.
Matgara.
Yeah. No magic. No. What is that? What is the Warcraft? What was it called?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Matgara.
Makara. Yeah.
Come on, man.
No magic.
Credit where
No
it's
magic.
As a point of honor, no magic, if you will.
If you would be so inclined. Metal versus metal. Mono a mono. No.
Would
Okay.
you settle for teeth? I have no metal.
I guess we have no choice. I'm not going to drag us all into... See, because if I do... Here's the thing. If I drag us into combat here and Artoris dies...
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I would.
And knowing Tommy and how he likes to troll some of his parties...
Hey
You know,
now.
The dragon goes straight for the tax man.
That's a shiny face mask. I want that. Yeah.
That's
But,
exactly what I want as payment. Artoris' mask.
But I don't want to bother prying it off the head, so I'm just going to pry off the head.
The head is an added incentive. Boop.
Yeah. All right. All right. Kato. All right. So after an hour of deliberation,
Pretty much, yeah.
Kato
Both-
turns back to the dragon, takes a step forward.
Yes.
I'm trying to think how I want to approach this.
Kato's knees start shaking.
No, I have no fear.
Actually, make a will save.
I was just about to anyway.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I am going to add my charisma bonus.
Indeed, Kato has no fear.
Yeah, I fear no dragon.
Not the worst time in the
You
world
drive-
to throw a 16 at the board.
You drive an interesting proposal, dragon.
I know.
And I can't help but admire your handiwork here. So, with that said, I'm sure you don't want to die today. We certainly don't want to die today either. So, I think diplomacy is certainly in order, and my comrades agree. So, with that said, I think a trade, as you described, could be mutually beneficial. It was discussed that as we grow our population, there are bound to be miscreants, criminals, those who have fallen ill of the law, and we need somewhere to put them. Would it be in your interest to take such miscreants off of our hands?
That sounds delightful. How many per year were you thinking? I would prefer an exact number.
Oh boy.
I knew that was coming.
Oh,
Quotas,
it's got
huh?
messy.
Quotas.
This is
Yeah, of
getting
course.
messy.
Yeah, you guys thought y'all was just, someone murders, then maybe. No, we're going lawful evil. Go ahead. Tell them 10.
Well, as you certainly
We'll draw lots in the town.
Lottery!
as you can certainly already know, based on your great insight, that we are still just a fledgling community that, is in the process of growing. So, tribute will need to be fairly small at first, but will grow over time as we grow. Our growth and benefit is to your benefit. So,
Of course, I would love it if my new friends lived long and prospered.
very good.
Vulcan dragon.
So what I propose is to forego the need for a quota in the immediate term. We will send what we can, and then, as circumstance allows it, we can renegotiate to a more firm and specific arrangement.
I hope you pass this diplomacy check.
You probably should make a diplomacy check, yeah.
I believe.
Not the worst idea I've ever heard. So long as my friends are somewhat regular, you understand. I believe the troll population in this part of the world has recently declined. Frankly, I'm worried about my long-term survivability, and I'm a little hungry. But it doesn't sound horrible. How would you guys say you were pretty quiet when you sidebarred? Like, go somewhere that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's quite as it could be.
Whenever I was like making a gesture to this great majestic, I was intentionally making sure he heard me.
Okay, fair enough.
But outside of that,
Sycophant.
However, it's rare that the Eldori come to my part of the world, and rumors of your martial prowess, they are legendary.
1v1 me.
I would be remiss if I did not ask for the opportunity to duel. Now, before you make anything hasty, ask all of your friends to kill me, and then I melt you. I am not without honor. I will refrain from using my a little, and the gas kind of out a little bit. Nor will I command nature to aid me, nor will I fly away. I also will not try to kill you. With that in mind, accidents happen. And I'm assuming you will not try to kill me should I fear for my life. Well, again, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do not prefer horse. A multi-course meal. If you beat me, I shall see to it for the next year that no opposing force gets within, shall we use your measurements, within about 12 miles of your settlement. But if I beat you, I get your sword.
Treasure.
Call it a friendly wager. And again, I will eventually be able to take your forms, and perhaps then I shall learn the ways of swordsmanship. Until then, I've only read, and I would be lying if I didn't say I wasn't mildly curious.
Well, you won't be learning with this sword, because I will defeat you.
There it is.
Is it accepted then?
A duelist never declines a challenge.
And that's where we're gonna cut it. Thank you all for watching. I did not.
Oh, it is that time. Holy crap, we spent a lot of time on this debate.
Yeah, we did.
It's you guys. It's what you do. You've gotten better at it. You've become self-aware.
Yeah.
But thank you all for watching. Next time we're gonna fight a dragon. I know Achilles.
Oh my god.
And we'll see you next time.
My sword is...
In the comments below.
See.
In the comments below, press F to pay respect for Kato's blade.